didn't do the.
Just did the pshoo thing.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Lumi.
Like I'm getting ripped off here.
Did you hear the pshoo at the end of the
I
intro?
did. I did
Okay,
hear
Mike.
it.
You're
Okay.
deaf. There we go. Thanks. Hey, welcome back.
Go on.
Welcome to the Culture Crusade. Look who we got. We got LUMI, a VTuber. I feel like realities are falling apart already. How are you?
Someone's
LUMI?
crossed the streams.
I mean, hey, we could blame Arch because he's been having me hunt down VTubers to bring on to his podcast for months now.
I actually think VTubers are awesome, just the whole concept behind it. But like, I've always been into animation and cartoons and all that stuff. And it goes back to when Mike, you must have done this. Do you ever, like, when you were a kid, draw yourself as like a character in things that you really loved and stuff like that? Because, you know.
Oh yeah, I sneak myself into stuff.
Well, it's that kind of thing, and it's always fun to see yourself as a comic book character or something like that. And VTubers just get to do that, but bring it into reality. It's really cool. I like this stuff.
It's like my VTuber avatar is actually a character of mine that I made like 10 plus years ago at this point. And
For
so
what?
I was just it was just like a original character that I made as a older teen for different fandoms that I was in, or I just like making characters. I can't draw or shit, but I like paying artists to draw things that
hang on,
come
Lumi.
up with.
You can't crap. How do you go to the toilet?
I can't draw.
But you said
Or-
you're a retard.
I can't draw.
She's saying that what
Okay.
she draws, she could not exchange for crap.
Yeah.
You can't draw for crap, right? That's what it's like.
Yeah, I can't draw, so I pay artists and give them like multi-paragraph descriptions of what I want.
Hey,
Like Neil Gaiman.
That is almost like giving something a prompt. And
I would think Neil Gaiman is pretty good at telling people what he wants.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I feel so insufferable when I used to just bring like a 2-page document or a Word document of like character descriptions. Like, hey, so here's this. I found a picture of the hair that I like. Maybe this outfit, and then they're like, okay. And then I usually tip them extra because they deal with me.
It's almost like you're a bit of a director, guiding kind of to the results that you want.
Here we go. Segue right into AI talk.
Everything isn't about AI, Shad. Okay, relax.
But it's really fun,
man. It's like at least you haven't seen like the AI art channel that I have in my Discord server. Specifically, two people specifically makes the most cursed stuff in there. They go by Boog and Quimbus.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Lots of feet stuff, I believe.
Unfortunately, I keep saying, no matter how much I deny it, it just emboldens them. Oh, hello, Quimbus. I see you.
I got to give props to Arch because that is just such a grand, epic troll that he is perpetuating. Going back to the VTuber stuff, right? I already have kind of like a persona that could easily translate. That's I would adapt something from this, and it's just one of those fun kind of cartoony versions of yourself that you get to make, and it's just getting bigger. This actually kind of segues into other things that I wanted to talk about, because our realities are changing. Let me share this. I think this is one of the coolest things I have ever seen. And hang on, I need to share audio first. Stop sharing. Need to represent, share screen, entire screen, and audio. Okay. Did you guys see this on Twitter anytime recently?
Oh yeah, people saying that.
I didn't listen to it.
I saw the Jesus one where Jesus is talking about his favorite movie.
All right, well, just listen to this for a bit.
Welcome to the Talking Baby podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking to the weird-looking person who lives at my house. Thanks for being here, weird-looking person.
Well, thanks for having me. As you know, you are my third favorite person in the world, third behind the two larger people that we also live with. They're both awesome. So cool. You're fine, and right now those two larger people are both busy and not paying attention to me at all. So happy to chat with you.
So to kick things off, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, this is to me just amazing, insane, crazy, brilliant, scary. Like there's so many things that come to my mind.
Podcasts.
Oh my god! If they didn't use like a grown ass man's voice and just had it like sound like a child, do you know how many elderly people would say, "Oh my god, that baby is so smart"?
So the AI is just moving forward in leaps and bounds. And recently, some new models came out that do lip syncing, where you can generate an AI video with an audio track that will sync the mouth to the audio track. And I can instantly tell that's exactly what they're using here. And I would almost guarantee that this is an AI generated image, and that the audio is very likely AI generated. And if not, it can generate audio to this level of, I guess, like natural discussion where
an actual baby.
No, it's not. It's not real. It's not real, David. It's AI. I find this fascinating. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, right, is what makes this really enjoyable is actually the cleverness of the dialogue and the fact that if you listen to it, they nail the perspective of like a baby. And how he doesn't really understand the world. And so the question he has for the dog, I think, is brilliant, what he says here.
And I apologize in advance if it's naive or ignorant. Look, I'm a baby. I don't really know stuff yet. So just keep that in mind. So my question is this. What are you? Like, you clearly seem to be a very different kind of person than I am. Am I right? Like, because like people look different from each other, like different sizes, skin tones, the hair. But you, I have no idea what's going on. Does this make any sense to you? Am I crazy?
I mean, that I just find charming and hilarious. And it's kind of just nailing, of course, a baby. And as a father, right, I often have found it very fascinating just watching my, infants, my young children when they were born, they're constantly looking at everything like, holy crap, where have I just come to? This place is so friggin' weird. And anyway, I think that's what makes this kind of work. If you had a bad script, I don't think anyone would really care.
I think if you put his baby in a suit, he'd be like the main character from Boss Baby.
Yeah.
If he started a podcast.
So, oh my gosh, you could do a live action Boss Baby so easy.
No, don't give them ideas. Shut up.
My question is this: where do you think this is going to go? Okay, I think one of the clear adaptations of this is in VTubing. LUMI, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there are already like in Japan, they are already trying to make AI powered VTubers. There's already like one that is constantly babysitted by her creator known as Vidal. Yeah. But he does coding streams and stuff for her programming and everything. So he codes everything himself. She is into the wider VTuber sphere. She is like the only acceptable AI VTuber.
Oh, is there like still huge resistance in the VTubing world with AI and stuff?
Yes, some artists will blacklist you if you even use a reference that's made with AI.
Oh, I'm aware of that. The kind of hate mob that is just against AI to a crazy level can be very aggressive, I should say.
Yeah, I had some guy come after me on Twitter. I was posting about Yellow Flash's comic, and then they came at me and they're like, "What do you do a comic book with Shad? And he's for AI, and how can you do that? I'm a musician, and he's gonna take up my blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, bro, chill out. It's like
it's like this is my own personal stance with AI, and I even have it pinned on my Twitter profile, on where I don't care if if you use AI for fun, if it's something fun, as long as you don't profit off of it and claim it as your own, I
think
don't
that's
care.
part of the key. Like, I think just be very upfront that it's AI, and if you make something, and there is so many applications of AI that require huge amounts of artistic input and talent to produce. And when someone is actually putting in a lot of work to produce something really good with it, and they're utilizing AI tools as part of the creative process, I think they deserve credit as an artist, absolutely, because they're producing something really impressive. I have a lot further views and thoughts about AI that go beyond that, but yeah, the hate mob, it gets insane. I'm looking for a bookmark I have, which shows a new application or a developing application of AI and motion capture, and the quality of it is actually scary.
Mocap is a thing of the past, dude.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be
yeah, I think I've seen that.
weeks.
It's like another thing that I keep seeing people on Twitter argue about is, oh, but what if the, like, because again, in Japan, there's mangakas and everything that are training their own AI with their own art to help with the creative process when it comes to drawing manga. And a lot of people are like, oh, but is this even ethical? Oh, but it's their own art. Yeah, but what about the environment? And it's like,
what?
Because they think AI runs on the exact same shit as like cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about like, oh, the amount of servers that it requires to use is really bad for the environment because of power usage and stuff like that. And that one I'm always dubious on, because I'm like, do you know how many freaking computers are used by like Google and everything? Like, and crypto is another one. That's actually why some people have been against crypto and stuff. I found the bookmark though. Let me see if you've seen this before. So this is a guy just on a camera. Okay, no actual motion capture cameras. This is a regular camera, and check out what it's able to do. It's just copying his movements in near perfect fidelity. Like
that's nuts.
This is actually crazy. It's getting the finger movements. It is getting the finger movements and tracking those finger movements. And for me, I kind of think this feels like the next evolution of VTubing, where, because in terms of just mouth movement and stuff like that, the current rigs, like what you have, LUMI, works pretty well. I think that just satisfies what most people want. But VTubers, I've noticed, can have a bit of a limitation with full body movement. And this kind of level is a bit crazy, and you don't need special equipment apart from the program and a regular camera. And this is early days as well.
You know, like
Man, it's
VTuber
better than
pop
spending
idols.
like, oh, go ahead, sorry.
I would say that you got like VTuber pop idols.
Yeah,
They're growing bigger. Like I'm fascinated by that. How big some VTubers are becoming.
oh yeah, like the largest VTuber agency is HoloLive, and they have concerts in Japan. They, what was it, last year they actually collabed with the Dodgers and everything. If you've seen that when it went around.
Yeah, like there was a VTuber singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Was it that one?
Yeah, and their most popular talent, Gargura, just graduated, and she's going indie.
I like. There is weird drama around the VTubing sphere about that kind of thing, to graduate, and I've only like heard some things about recently about what graduating is. And so is that when a VTuber leaves their agency that helped develop them? Is that what it is? Oh no, have we lost LUMI?
She's digitizing.
She's
But the answer is yes. That's what happens when they quit.
It's
called graduating. And then I don't even think they're, when they go off on their own, they're not even allowed to say that I was this person at that company. That's what I heard.
Well, because the company owns the image, don't they?
For graduation, that's stemmed from idol culture, on where, like, you know, with even IRL idol groups, they would say that they're graduating, they're moving on and everything. It's just like leaving amicably. Then VTubing adopted it. And it's not just for agency VTubers, it's also for indies and stuff. So instead of saying like, oh, I'm quitting, it's a more padded term to be so it doesn't sound as bad. But you know something's bad when they straight out say that they are terminating a talent.
Yeah. Again, it's very fascinating because I've heard, you know, just only like tangential stuff about some larger VTubers from the bigger one graduating, moving on, but they can't take their avatars with them. They're owned by the company.
Yeah, they are owned by the company. Every once in a while, depending on the company, the talents can try to buy their IP. For some smaller, like, I don't remember the exact number, but for a smaller agency that recently imploded, I think last year, they're trying to ask their talents for like $15,000 to buy their IP from them. Otherwise, they had to get a whole new persona or use their old one.
I'm divided on it because, like, if the company helped develop them, they do have the right to that IP, essentially. The thing is, though, they're falling into a big, you know, issue by the fact that the main thing that makes these VTubers popular are the personalities and voices behind them, not the, you know, avatar. That's what Daily Wire discovered recently with Brett Cooper leaving, is that you can't replace someone on a show if that person is the show, basically.
Exactly.
And when they move on, like they can take their audience with them. So, and I say kind of all power to them if they have built that, you know, fan base. Sure, like that's kind of the thing. That's the danger that companies have to face if they're going to be trying to build up these people. It kind of means that to keep them around, you have to treat them well. And
yeah,
it actually reminds me of Image Comics.
Does it?
Yeah, because, you know, back in the 90s, like Marvel and DC, actually primarily Marvel, they would build up their artists. They would promote their books with their artists, right? And then their artists got so big that they're like, okay, peace. So they all went out and started their own company, Image Comics, right? And then after that, Marvel and DC like stopped promoting their artists.
I think they became writers because that's all I hear about
they
now.
They start promoting writers, right?
Writers. So that's why you hear about Tom King and Mark Waid and all kinds of stuff. So they can just gush their soy all over these old heroes. But that's how it happened. Rob Liefeld led the way. I think him and a bunch of other Image guys forged that path. And then I think Rob Liefeld got kicked out of his own company because he's that insufferable.
Well, he got kicked out of Image. Image isn't really. Image is like a, what do you call it?
Very creator owned.
Well, it's creator owned, but it's non-profit.
It's very different. So, like, if you want to get published by Image, you probably can, but you have to do what you're doing most of the work. Like you're making the comic, you're hiring a team, but what they give you is like they'll distribute their books everywhere. I think.
Right. Your book is an Image book, so that automatically comes with a certain amount of support, and they do all the, not all the front load funding, but they'll fund, obviously all the marketing stuff and previews, and then they'll do the sometimes they'll pay for the coloring and for, I don't know how it is nowadays. It used to be like this. They'd pay for the coloring and they'd pay for the lettering and they'd pay for the.
It's still a pretty good deal.
The design work, right? And then after they publish it, they take back. It used to be $2,000. I think it's like $2,500 or something now. And then the rest of it goes to you.
Yeah, so it's still a pretty good deal.
Because it's a non-profit company. It's supposed to be to allow these guys, and just the fact that they approved and allowed your book to be in Image, it gives it kind of that elevated,
gives it a boost in marketing,
and you get to keep your IP. Like it's totally yours. That's kind of the foundation of Image, was that we want to make our own stuff and not have the companies kind of like take away our ideas and stuff, or take a cut and stuff. So it's Image is pretty good.
It's like VTuber agencies kind of function the same way. They give you depending on how big the agency is, they will give you basically an allowance on how much you can spend on your debut. But that includes your model, your rigging, your assets, everything. And a lot of artists, like some artists, are also part of a group or an agency specifically for the artists, which means they have brand name attached to it. So some of these artists can charge up to like $10,000+ just for the art. Then like $5,000 for the rigging. But
that's very expensive.
It is very expensive. I haven't even gotten close to spending that much, even with how much I put into my VTuber.
But you know, it makes you like think, you know, oh, artists are complaining that everyone's turning to AI, and then look at this, they're charging insane amounts of money that people are going to be able to now do for free. So you wonder why.
There's a lot of smaller artists that get ignored because people want to go for the name brand. They want the name recognition because that will give them boosts in followers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I've been with my my specific riggers since like 2019, before I even had LUMI as a character. I had another avatar before her.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, for my rigging alone, it was about 700. And for the model art, it's about 900. So it wasn't bad. And then after that, I got a new outfit for my model, new hairdo, a tail toggle for a mermaid. And I'm getting some more things added soon. So it's like, you know, for example, here, I'll show you. So this is just my...
Yep.
So this is just my news outfit, regular outfit.
And you have to get those rigged separately.
Yes. Each outfit has to be rigged separately. Hair up. And then tail.
Aha. See, I think that's just very, very cool about the whole setup and how it works. And there's just unique advantages because as soon as you get that personified character, it's essentially timeless. And as long as you know, nothing terrible happens otherwise, it's an ageless character that can be used more effectively in marketing and any type of things.
Make a comic book.
Comic books, it's easier to adapt into kind of other mediums like that you know, image persona thing that I was sharing here of me. Like I think if I ever had the time, and I don't think I'd ever would, but it'd be fun to make this kind of character appear in like a medieval fantasy story or something like that could be used in just further, you know, products, marketing, fun stuff, and it can be more easily adapted into that. So VTubing, man, it's the future. And I wonder how, like, I wonder, you know, if, I guess I was going to say a regular people's days numbered, but not really. I think it's just people are going to have different tastes for different styles of content. And this is just a new one that I think is quite effective. Yeah.
And it's like just like any other part of content creation, it just seems like it's more elevated with VTubing. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of drama and backstabbing, and there's a lot of it. There's so much shade being thrown around, people talking about like certain political leanings privately, but will say something else to the public, because a lot of Western VTubing is very, very, very left-leaning.
Yeah.
I've gotten blocked by so many people. I've gotten commissions canceled. Like commissions I'm spending hundreds of dollars on just because I'm the co-host of the Archcast. It's like, okay, fine. Starve then. I'll take my $500 back.
Well, I find that just hilarious when they do that, because it's one of the most brain dead things. If they're going to be so outwardly hostile in a political sense or just ideological sense, they are literally pushing away a massive audience. And if most of these VTubers are crazy left leaning, well, that just means there's an open market for center right, you know, people that are just not insane VTubers, and people are going to enjoy them. And you see some pretty successful ones around. Now, I'm not, you know, that well versed in the whole VTuber sphere. I only know of a couple. And when I see their clips, I've even watched a couple streams here and there, and I found them, well, these are actually kind of entertaining and funny. And so what you got, Peppa Pipkin, is that her name?
Pippa Pipkin, yeah.
She's funny. And then like Nux, all right. He's interesting. He's a VTuber, wouldn't you? Like, would you class him as like a full-blown VTuber?
Yeah, he's a VTuber.
Yeah.
He can sometimes be annoying in my opinion, but he does have some good videos.
Yeah, like sometimes when you just want to listen to something where someone's just laughing at something stupid, I got, Nux could be an interesting one to listen to. I would call It's a Gundam a VTuber as well, but he's been doing it for a while.
It's a Gundam has been a VTuber before VTubing got popular. Because remember, he had his 3D model that he used, the Scout one.
Yeah, I remember.
Man, it is my dream one day to be able to collab with It's a Gundam. I've been watching him for so fucking long, man.
Oh, he's great. I love Gundam, and he's a funny guy. So I'll hang out with him on FNT and stuff, and he's just awesome. And I enjoy his videos as well. And yeah, I think he's an example of one of those OG VTubers. But let's segue to one of the topics that we're wanting to talk about.
Topics.
We do have topics, so I find this encapsulates the topic at hand.
Oh no.
So,
I mean, female. Who cares? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But if you change it back, then it becomes a big deal.
Exactly. Why are you upset that people aren't referred to, male or female these days? Stop being, so serious about it. It's just body type 1 and 2. But when it changes back, holy crap.
What makes it worse, it's not even like we're changing everything. Is that I'm changing it back to male and female on my personal playthrough.
Yes.
But no,
you're not even doing it. They're not even doing it like forcing it on everyone. It's a personal choice through a mod that they can choose to restore it back, and people lose their friggin' minds over it. In fact, the mod gets banned. Now there is discussion to be had about what is actually going on, because now it's not banned, or a different mod is not banned, and what that kind of means. But I think before we do that, we need to reel it back a bit and talk about some of the background and history behind this stuff, because I also think it's related to the whole pronoun stuff in video games as well. It's the subtle changes to appease woke ideology in media. And this is one of those subtle things. And they try and gaslight you to say, it's not a big thing. Why are you getting upset? But the thing is, though, people who are paying attention knows that this is just that slippery slope thing. This is, give them an inch, take a mile, where they want to sneak in one thing after another to then go all the way. And I say subtle, sometimes there's not the subtle things, because there's the whole thing with making most women in Western, video games butt ugly, looking like men.
Yeah, these people know nothing about subtlety, Shad.
Yeah,
subtlety is like a foreign concept to them.
Did you see that whole thing about Marvel Rivals and how they said they're in denial over there too, because Marvel Rivals is really, really popular and everyone loves that game, and everyone has made it very clear that they love the character designs because the women look like women.
They're good looking.
But Marvel came out and said
women look like hot women. That's
it look feminine looking women. The thing is, though, Marvel came out and said something along the lines of, "Oh, it's just the mechanics people like." So we're going to continue.
I think I saw a headline of that today.
Hey, that's accurate, though, right?
They like the character design and the mechanics.
The mechanics are great. I love seeing the tits bounce when they move.
Yeah, those mechanics.
Those mechanics.
So that's what matters. So the Marvel people are like, it's just the mechanics people like. It's not the character designs. People love our man-women things. So we can continue with that.
Oh my gosh! I think I have a bookmark. I need to try and find it, of a recent game that's being in development, and the character designs look awful.
Is that Marathon?
Is it
Yes.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines too?
No, I think it's Marathon. Let me see if I can find that bookmark. Because
I heard I might have to start doing another video series on that.
Because oh my gosh, like they look pretty horrendous. Here it is. Let me bring it up. So this is, I'm pretty sure it's Marathon. Yeah, it is Marathon. And so these are the character designs up here. And it's like, and then they compare to Marvel Rivals. And it's just like, yeah, one set does not look like the other. Yeah. And look, the Miss Marathon game, if this is what they're going for, it looks friggin' butt ugly. No way would I be interested in
I
playing.
don't even know what those are supposed to be. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Yeah.
But it's the mechanics,
when
guys.
you look at the character design, you should understand the character from the design of the character.
Yes. But it's not the design of the characters, everyone. It's the mechanics. It's like it's both. And the design, the visual appeal will grab people's attention, bring them in, and then if you can deliver even a half decent gameplay experience, you have a winning combination. And Marvel Rivals is just the perfect example of that. Because Concord, reports about Concord was that the gameplay wasn't terrible, nothing revolutionary, nothing innovative, but it wasn't terrible. It was just standard shooter, stuff, but it was competently done from reports given, right? But all the characters looked butt ugly and androgynous, and no one was interested in it. It was the biggest flop in gaming
you had to pay
history.
to play a game that was in a field of free games in that genre.
Yeah,
that wasn't a great move.
I think that compounded things considerably, and so it's all kind of related to this subversive thing that's happening in gaming, and this is related to it because the pronoun stuff. Going back to that, I remember Az's rant, Hills versus Babyface's rant, where you see this stuff just being injected into it bit by bit, right? And Az was noticing this in Starfield. He was playing Starfield, I believe it was. And he kept noticing just these subtle things. And it was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he made his epic rant about effing pronouns. You're boring.
Those headphone comes off.
It comes I love it.
Epic rant.
Oh, you just called Az a camel. That's messed up.
I did not. I love Az. But
the raw emotion of that rant was fantastic.
I think it was important because it was few people, the woke mob police were just so ready to try and crucify anyone that spoke out about it, right? And so Az just not giving a stuff and just sharing his unfiltered opinion about how insufferable this crap is, and he just it means nothing. We want a good game, effing pronouns, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I actually feel it was one of those important moments to help people realize that you can speak out against this crap. He was pilloried for it. Like the amount of attacks and mockery and bad faith arguments that people tried to use against him were insane. And that what it really revealed is this meme. If these pronouns don't mean a thing, why was there such unhinged hate and backlash and attacks against Az for getting fed up with this crap? Okay. If it didn't matter anything, we lost LUMI. Hopefully she'll come back. She might have been freezing up. If it didn't mean anything, why the heck were people reacting so strongly against it?
I like to ask, if it's not important, why'd you change it in the first place?
Right.
Exactly. If it's not important, why are you injecting it in the first place? And if it's not important, why do you want to prevent people from having the choice to remove or add it themselves?
Well, I get the feeling it meant something to these people.
Yes. Yeah, pretty sure it did. And the thing is, it's always the appeasement of the woke mob, because making us angry is easy. There's no real consequence as far as they're concerned, PR consequence for making us angry. We'll make a video, we'll talk about it, whatever. But if they make the woke mob angry, their lives might be ruined. So it's easier to
they riot. They'll spray paint your Tesla. They'll do all kinds of stuff.
They might kill you. Actually, they might kill you.
That's true.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. How you going there, LUMI? Are you back alive?
Yeah, for some reason, like the past few weeks, StreamYards, whenever I'm on here, has just been randomly cutting audio just from like the stream itself. Whenever I test the site, it works, but for some reason, the stream just completely cuts out. Maybe it's because I'm using Brave. I don't know.
Yeah. But good to have you
Yeah,
back.
I have to use Chrome for StreamYard.
Yeah, I use Chrome for StreamYard. I've found that's more reliable.
I will have to do that for if it cuts out.
I used to use I forgot what I used to use, but I had to use Chrome because it really only worked on Chrome.
StreamYards, please work on Brave. I don't want to use Chrome.
Yeah, it's weird. My StreamYard used to work on Brave, and then it just stopped for some
Same
reason.
here. I used to work on another browser, then it stopped, and I had to go to Chrome. It was weird.
Yeah. This comment kind of, is speaking to some truth here. So typical lefty behavior. You're happy and comfortable, then they poke you and take away your water bowl, take away your food, poke you again and again. And when you bite back, they post that bit. But not they pitch a fit when you push back. And they were trying to justify them taking away your water bowl and poking you. It was like, it's small, doesn't matter, these are just normal things. But when you push back, you find out it really does matter to them. Why would you ban them off?
They start doing that soy face, start crying. But here's the thing, though. Only one side in this particular conflict is asking for less of something else, right? It's like their side's the one that we want less white people, less heterosexuality. We want less this, less that. They call us bigots because we're like, no, we don't want this race swap. You made this guy XYZ minority. We want him back the way he was. So they call us anti this, anti that, when really we just want to preserve the IPs that we invested so much money, time, and friendships in. And so it's like we're the bigots, and we're being called that we want less this and less that, less women, less minorities. When really we just want the IPs that we loved to remain the same, and we don't care if you add make your own IP or make your own characters and they're whatever you want them to be. That's a whole nother issue, and usually we won't mind very much. But their side is the only side demanding there be less white people or less straight people.
Well, to be fair, I want less gay crap.
It's just like what I want is less shoehorning, less just like
Did you say shoehorning?
Horning. Shut up.
Oh.
That's an interesting concept.
Different subgenre.
We're not going to be unpacking that one. Sorry.
Anyways, it's like we used to be able to watch shows, play games, and everything that had gay characters and stuff in it, but it wasn't the main part of the story. It wasn't shoved in your face. I like natural character development. It's nice flavor text where it's like, oh, you do the side quests, you learn more about them. Oh, look it, they just happen to be gay. Oh, they happen to be lesbian, but they're still pretty neat. It doesn't have to be the main focus and their main personality, where it's like, oh yeah, he's gay, but he also cross-dresses. It's like, I don't need to know that.
What I find interesting is when it has nothing to do with the story, nothing to do with the characters, nothing to do with the world setup or anything. And the best example of this is Last of Us Season 1, where they have a setup, they have the characters, and then we get to episode 4, and here's a gay romance, completely divorced of everything.
Yeah.
But what did you do? What did you do after that? Did you demand that they take it out of there and stuff, or did you just not stop watching?
I just stopped watching because I don't enjoy seeing men kiss because I'm not gay.
Unfortunately, that's kind of everyone keeps asking what happened to the generation that was raised on South Park and stuff. Like, how come they're so very how come they're all crybabies? Thing is, we're not. The thing is, a lot of the thing is what those shows made us, what the environment of the time made us, was incredibly tolerant. So tolerant that people who were not we're all live and let live. We were all like racial jokes, whatever, gay jokes, whatever. It was very live and let live. That's kind of how a lot of us tend to be, very live and let live. But the thing is, not everyone was like that. Some people remained intolerant, and those people kind of like became so busybody that they elbowed their way into power. And so those are the people that have gained power, and they're making changes, saying we're all bigots. We didn't care enough to do that. We didn't care enough to gatekeep. We didn't care enough because like, oh, I don't really like that, so I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to like that, so I'm not going to watch it. But then eventually they took over too many things where we had no choice but to go, wait a minute, you're taking over. There's nowhere else to go. You're taking over everything. And so I think that's why the vitriol is so strong against woke culture and has grown so strong against woke culture, because we woke up one day and they've taken over everything. They tried to take over video games, tried to take over like D&D has been harshly marred by this whole nonsense. And so it's like we have nowhere to go. And so we can either let them take over and ruin everything, make our own stuff, or fight back and gatekeep. That's kind of the three choices that have remained. The thing is, the baseline was that era of people, the South Park era of people, were so like live and let live intolerant. They just allowed the people who were not live and let live intolerant to take over. And that's kind of where we are now. Now, that's not saying that tolerance is bad, but we learned that there should be limits.
Tolerance is bad, Kai.
It's just like, for example, anime should have never gone mainstream. COVID ruined anime for literally everybody, because now there's a term that, like, instead of just tourists, there's something that people now call others hoodweebs, where it's just...
I've not heard this one before.
Oh yeah, hoodweebs. They're they are tourists to the extreme. They complain about basic things that have been in anime for decades. Fan service, they bitch.
Are they the ones that rediscovered Berserk every couple of months?
Yes. It's like, okay, because a few months ago, I finally was able to read through the entirety of Berserk. Thanks to my community, they funded like the entire deluxe edition for me. So I got all 14 volumes, read through all of it with my community. Best story I have ever fucking read. But now now that I know everything, I know all the context, just seeing people bitch about it or just say that, like, oh, this means this. Like, no, it doesn't. There's nothing deeper than this. Please shut the fuck up. I hate it so much.
So Shad showed a video of what they really like to enjoy on their leisure reading, and so their boos now make nothing because we've seen what they like to read.
We've seen like the women fantasy literature scene and romance scene in particular in fantasy is insane. It gets. I know you talk about on the Archcast sometimes what women are into, and it gets
like,
weird.
He's drowning her.
Don't ask about the fan fictions that I used to read and still read. Before you ask what's wrong with you, a lot is. I just can't afford to be on the medication.
See, LUMI is one of those women.
I am a shameless fujoshi. I like the most degenerate shit that there is out there.
Yes,
it is beautiful. Does. And Shad, I'm sure you've seen the episode of the Archcast with me and Savvy where we just kind of mind broke Arch the entire time. Oh, it was so much fun. We need to do that again.
Why are women like this?
Probably a mix of trauma and it's mostly like mix of trauma and other things. It's quite fun though.
Oh my gosh. I just find it interesting that, and look, this goes back to that weird thing that happened with Baldur's Gate 3, where they were like, sexualizing women is wrong. And they're crying, like foul at Stella Blade because she's a sexy character who wears sexy outfits, right? And that's like beyond the pale, yet they will celebrate sex with a bear in Baldur's Gate 3.
Halson,
Male bear too.
I don't get it. This weird degenerate double standard thing that they have where it seems like anything that might lead to regular heterosexual kind of sexuality or attraction, stuff like that, like, oh, they're ready to gatekeep that and police that to the days. How dare you be attracted? How dare a woman even be depicted as conventionally attractive, right? You have to celebrate all other forms of attraction, especially if a woman looks like a man, you better find her attractive these days, because holy crap, right?
It's just like, from what I notice, a lot of the people who complain about, like, female beauty and, like, the more normie things but are fine with the whole, like, bear thing, it's because they're probably ugly as shit IRL and they have no one else to hold them. They need the characters in Baldur's Gate 3 or something else to be like, oh, this is the only validation I'll ever get in my life.
I kind of see the same thing. It's something that I've speculated a lot about in regards to the phenomenon of the ugly female characters in video games, where a lot of these characters, right, are being encouraged to be depicted this way through these very feminist consulting companies like Sweet Baby Inc., where it's like you've got to make them look more, and they will usually say like normal. And I find it really bizarre because no, they go beyond trying to make them look normal. And I've shown this before, but I think it's always worth bringing up, right? Where here are hang on.
This one.
It just changed on me. Where the heck did my image go? I found it.
Soy facing orc.
Yeah, well, that's actually that's another thing that we could talk about.
I miss the old orcs. Oh man,
I miss classic fantasy. Like give me elves, dwarves, Lord of the Rings style stuff, not this tieflings, dark elf, warforged weird stuff. It's like traditional fantasy, man. But all right, going back to this image, okay? It's like, here are video game characters, and these are the ones where they adapt, real actors into video games. And it's like, this is kind of weird, where the male, video game ones are done like 1-to-1, perfect translations.
It's easily Lance Reddick, it's easy Keanu Reeves.
But the women are all made to look more like men and more ugly. Like,
all the women are men now.
Spider-Man one is
they're
wild.
really good at making men into video games. I mean, that's it.
And to go what you were saying before, Lumi, right? Like, it feels like a lot of these consulting companies that are just, militant feminists or very, woke-minded activists, right? That are very insecure, and there's like, no, I want to see myself in this thing, so make them look more like me or something. Because the Spider-Man 2 one, right? She's the voice actor, but there is like a person that worked in the company, right? That looks almost 1-to-1 to the Mary Jane redesign, and you really wonder. It's like you just,
It's sad. It's just like with fucking what's her name, Mindy Kaling with the Velma show and everything. Looks exactly like her.
Check out who's just joined us. Yellow Flash, how are you, man?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Good to have you, dude. We're talking about something that I'm sure you have thoughts on. Not only the unattractive women in video games thing, but also the pronoun stuff and more particularly the body type 1 and 2 stuff from the Oblivion remaster and the whole hypocrisy around that. Oh my gosh. Do you have any thoughts to share on that as we continue?
Yeah, I've seen that collage before.
Yeah.
It's been going around for a while. It's something with the Unreal Engine that just makes women ugly.
It actually is. Yeah, we've shown that.
Yeah, we did that.
We've shown that on the stream before.
It's like it's in the programming.
It's weird. But no, you're right. If I can dig out that thing, because I actually have the video clip that shows the Unreal Engine female sculpting thing, and it's literally like preventing you from making conventionally attractive women in it, which is bizarre. I don't think it's only the Unreal Engine doing it. I think a lot of assets, video game things, consulting companies are pushing in that direction, which just culminates in this weird thing where heaps of female video game characters are looking like men and looking more ugly.
I mean, it doesn't help when, like, for example, did you guys see, I think it was a couple months ago at this point, the OnlyFans chick that was trying to sue Lyft or something because one of the drivers said they wouldn't take her ride because she was too fat?
Yes, she's too fat.
She lost.
Thankfully,
she lost. Thank God. But the fact that we learned after the fact that she was an OnlyFans model and they're trying to push that, and I'm just like, I wanted to throw up when I see this.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I wonder if she's like, I wish she wanted to like have sex with the driver, and then, oh yeah, from our OnlyFans. He's like, get out, get out.
Oh, I don't have any money, but I can pay in other ways. As she hawks up a lung because she can't breathe.
I'm paying what? Donuts? Get out of here.
Well, on that note, like the fat acceptance movement is dangerous.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, have you guys seen this?
Just
Well,
because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get
She died.
Oh, I've
died
seen
too.
that.
3 McDonald's breakfast sandwiches? Which one's the best?
He's dead.
Join me on my Fat Positive radio show.
Which didn't last long because she died.
Wow.
Ooh.
I don't know what happened to health at every size, like they promised.
Like the fat movement isn't moving very far.
No, it's just
I
like-
bet you if you go back a few years and you see all those freaking huge models on Cosmopolitan magazine, they're probably all dead too.
Probably. And like, okay, that's
overly skinny, yeah, is also unhealthy. That is absolutely true.
it,
Yeah,
it's like
those-
this
But
reminds
that was
me.
the thing. This is the new healthy. It's like,
That's why they're having trouble getting any traction on that because everybody dies.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it does.
you
It
think
doesn't
about it.
exactly help when, like, of course, it's Washington State. They have now running for about 3 years now. They have a convention called FatCon. I made a video on this a couple months ago for Arch when I was doing that, and it's
Oh, I saw that. Weren't they going to send Ryan Kennel to that?
Oh, that was funny. Hey, we got Metatron in the chat, dude. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Troll away. And in fact, dude, you're more than free to join if you like, but I understand you're a busy man. But sorry for getting distracted. I saw Metatron. Here's my bro, and it's like, mate, what were we talking about?
we're
Weren't they
talking
going to
about
send Ryan
FatCon.
Kennel to FatCon?
Oh, that would be
AI.
hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Talking
I
about
can
fat AI models.
I could only imagine the body odor in that thing.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
This
Now-
is melts
now-
the
Well,
paint
it's
off the
just-
walls.
I mean, if there's nothing more freaking egregious in the world, then it's like obesity is like the second biggest cause of death in America. And they're like, no, everyone should be fat. It's
Healthy size. It's like that's not true.
Wait a minute, I thought
It's
like, it's the most ignorant freaking biological
I thought
fact.
the leading causes of death in America was COVID and climate change.
No, actually, like one of the top ones is actually medical malpractice. Doctors kill more people than heart attacks.
I
a lot of
did not
people.
know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where are you getting that from?
Medicine.
Yeah, well, I
Look it up.
look it up. All right.
Actually, I think heart attacks is first. Medical malpractice might be like second.
well, going
But
back to that
complications
whole
from obesity is like freaking way up there, and it's that they try to push this lie when every doctor should be telling you, first of all, men can't be women, but second of all, obese people can't be healthy. It's a contradiction in terms.
now, I think there's a scale as well though, because morbidly obese, 100%. I think I've seen some.
Right, but morbidly obese is only 50 pounds overweight or something like that, or 30 pounds
Well,
overweight.
I don't know what the scale is, but I've seen guys with guts that doing backflips and stuff that can actually be surprisingly athletic. And you know,
Right.
like, have you seen the strongest men in the world competitions? Right? These are literally the strongest men in the world, and they have a friggin' keg hanging out in front of their gut.
Yeah, and they have fatty liver, and they have arterial sclerosis. And
They're also very unhealthy.
Oh, okay, that can be hard to
Probably
understand.
because
they're
they
gonna be doing a bench one day, and their heart's just gonna break in half.
Was
'cause
it
it's-
Eddie Hall.
all they do
Eddie
is
Hall.
eat and lift weights. That's why they don't.
Eddie Hall was told by his doctor that he had to quit soon or else he'd be dead.
Yep, okay, but what I'm saying is I've seen some pretty athletic people that have a bit of a gut. They're not crazy, like massive, and that's where the whole fat acceptance movement pushes it to, where you can be hugely overweight and you are like they're just as healthy. How dare you say it's unhealthy? And not only that, they're just as attractive as anyone else. How dare you have a
but
preference
there's
for
one thing they're missing from that whole thing, because I don't think I've ever seen it where they're pushing fat is healthy on guys. It's
Oh, yeah.
always women.
it's only the women that can feel validated in their bodies. Men are
Yeah.
supposed. It's like this is another thing that I always notice with the videos of fat influencers. They all want fit men to be their boyfriends, and it's like, what about the chubby dudes?
Mhm.
And it's
Have
like,
you
no, but I need somebody to
Low
take care of
carbs.
me.
High
Men are-
protein, you'll lose weight.
Men
Yeah.
are not
Yeah,
it's pretty
Flash,
simple.
the carnivore. Flash joined the carnivore movement.
Yeah,
I-
low
No.
carb, high protein.
All I
is,
eat is
great.
meat.
I love meat.
Meat.
I love meat. I tried the carnivore diet on your recommendation, Mike.
Turkey.
Didn't work for me. I'm just saying.
If you eat a steak,
You got to
it's really-
list some weights too.
It's really
Yeah.
fun when you're eating a steak to watch vegans cry about cows.
Wait,
and
what do you
stuff.
mean it didn't work for you? How long were you carnivore?
About 2 weeks to a month, and it amplified my chronic fatigue, and it was not good for me.
It did?
So,
Were you eating enough fat?
Oh yeah, dude, I was doing carnivore. Yeah, but
I know, but if you eat carnivore and you're not eating enough fat, that's where you get your energy is from.
That's the key.
I was eating fat. Don't worry. Yeah.
Have you tried keto? Because my boyfriend actually did keto, and he lost like 70 pounds when he first did it.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm different, but turns out I just need some carbs to keep my energies on butter. You know,
cook with butter. Just while you're sitting there, you could be lifting some dumbbells.
Yes, I should. I could be more active. That's for sure.
I curl 50s now. I got back up to there.
Nice. So the fat acceptance movement is in line with all this other stuff where it's validating people's, I guess,
unhealthy behavior.
Unhealthy, yeah. Like so many things. Have you seen those interviews? Because the other thing that we kind of touched on was the unbalanced standards between men and women, where it seems like a lot of this acceptance stuff is pushed in, for women, but for men, like. Well, one, objectification is this double standard now, where how dare you objectify, women, but we'll strip Thor naked and eat popcorn while he's being sexually abused.
That's America's ass.
And objectify men. So it just shows the hypocrisy behind so much of this.
As we've seen from I'm not a fan of the manosphere really, but as we've seen, it's considered insecure and sexist for men to have any kind of standards at all.
I know.
You're supposed to accept everything.
And one of the things that I found really funny, there was like this, man on the street interview things where you go up to these women and say, should a man be over like 5'5" or something like that to be attractive? And they're like, absolutely, 100%. I'm not interested in a man. And it's like, okay. Could you step on this scale and weigh yourself? And then they're like,
no,
how dare you?
I found that meme was like, it's like, oh, she's praying to God, please send me a good man. God's like, I did, but you told him you didn't eat at Cheesecake Factory. It's like these tiny little things that they'll just say reject men to. It's like, this was a good man, but you said no because he had an Android phone instead of an iPhone.
Well, what is that saying? The 3 6s or something. I need to be 6 feet.
You got 6 foot tall.
It's the 666 club.
Yeah,
6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches.
Yeah, 6 foot, 6 figures, and either a 6-pack or 6 inches. It's like it can vary. The last one can vary.
Man, it's like I will happily objectify men and women. It's like with my Stellar Blade streams, I spent like 10 minutes just having Eve go up and down a ladder. It was fantastic.
I saw a couple of people doing that, honestly. Like, Project Eggroll's reactions to Stellar Blade were freaking hilarious.
You see how the men are fat. Like men are called fat, but women are plus sized.
Right. Well, yes.
And that's the thing is you mentioned it before. It's because they're trying to validate women, but they never, ever, ever want to validate men.
Yeah, men need to lose weight. Women, however, need to be validated and respected and stuff. Like, you're good just the way you are.
So this is all background stuff to what's been going on in video games, cultural stuff, and everything. And it is all very much related to the recent controversy between the body type 1 and body type 2 stuff. As we're mentioning, it's just another one of those subtle things that they're trying to inject into gaming to try and shift perception, shift culture, shift what is considered normal. And the very notion of the standards of what is a man and what is a woman is something they've been trying to subvert for years now. And so someone made a mod to take that out of the Oblivion remaster, and Nexus mods removed it. But there is an interesting development in this story specifically. Nexus Mods, and by the way, they have done this multiple times. Nexus Mods is an insanely woke company that has banned heaps of mods. There was a mod where they wanted to remove the trans flags out of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game. Banned, instantly taken down, and heaps of body type mods banned, taken down. This time, they've allowed it back, which is almost a first for Nexus mods with how they have been operating. I don't think it's sincere. I don't think it's a sign of change. I think it's them being afraid of some of the backlash that has been growing against them, rightly so. And so there's a couple of takeaways for it. It's like, okay, it's good that they're starting to feel the heat and they want to perhaps change a little bit. It still doesn't mean that they actually have altered their views on this, in my opinion. I think if they could get away with it, they would still do it. The reasons that they gave for taking down the mod to begin with feel very suspect, because their claim was it wasn't for the mod, but for the behavior of the mod creator and how he was talking in comments, in replies. Bullcrap. I don't believe that at all. Like, if that was the case, why did they ban all the other body type, the mods that bring back male and female and all that stuff?
I mean, that could be valid because they could be triggered by him saying something like, well, I believe women shouldn't have men in their bathrooms.
Like, that's
all you need nowadays, right?
It is all you need. But the fact that they have banned the other mods for doing essentially very equivalent things gives me the impression that, look, you're looking for an excuse to make yourself not look as bad. But the fact that it's now back up is something that Nexus mods haven't done for a bit. So I find that interesting. And it's a sign that I think culture is kind of changing, but not massively.
Team hate wins again, Shad. That's us, Team Hate.
That's what they call us. But they're some of the most hateful people I've ever seen on the internet.
Hate-gate. Or hate-gate.
They try and destroy people's lives for some of the smallest, inconsequential stuff.
They try people to suicide if the artist makes a character that's supposed to be brown a lighter shade of brown. And they had to come out and say, no, she's not whitewashed. She's in the sun now. So she's going to be lighter now. No, you must die. They used to do that to I think she did that. Like one of the more extreme things was what was it? Steven Universe art, like fan fiction art, like a young artist. They almost drove that person to suicide because they made like a character of the wrong shade or something. It was crazy. But the Moana thing was also crazy because she actually is Hawaiian, but she's not dark enough Hawaiian.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
She's not dark enough for the white Karens.
Well, the double standard in it was just insane where, oh, we're going to change all these canonically, white characters into all these other more diverse, whatever they say, right? But if a character goes even a slight shade from being dark skinned to being slightly more white, and then they're still, I got the more, tanned skin, they have lost their bloody minds over it. Like, yeah, the double standard hypocrisy around it.
But there is one exception, it seems, that Netflix showed us, that if the main character is a serial killer who was black in real life, they will accept he could go ahead and be white in the show.
Yeah, and isn't there a show about like how the white kids are beating up other kids in like England?
Yeah, they made like a whole propaganda film about how these evil white boys are going around, and it was inspired by boys who were not white, but in the show they're all white.
Makes you think. Hey, Flash, how's your graphic novel going, man?
It's going good. We're over halfway funded.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And you've sold several,
over 2,000 books.
2010 as of right now.
2010.
That's friggin' awesome, dude.
What a great year.
So this is the Mighty Golden Patriot, graphic novel made by Yellow Flash himself with collaborators such as Mike S. Miller and Literature Devil.
And more importantly,
he helped nail it down.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Literature Devil.
And
so if you want to get the whole team, scroll down and get cover B. There's not scroll down. I think you can click it on the top there, right?
Click it on the top. Where am I clicking?
Down there.
You can look at the covers on Choose Your Covers.
Yeah.
Check it out. Choose your covers.
Right there. That's me.
That's
me, Flash, and LitDev in one package.
Right there.
Go get
Holy. So, man, dude, one of the things that's kind of impressed me about this, LitDev, is that you're selling this as a really affordable price. Like this is very accessible for a lot of people. So, gee, I actually think that's generous of you, man.
Like 17 to 35.
$17 for cover D, and then the supplemental book is only $6.
Yeah, I get that.
Stop
D.
trying to pimp cover D. You want to sell cover C.
Everyone wants the D. Everyone wants that D.
Well, that's what you always do. You start with the lowest price.
They can build up.
That D hangs low, man.
Dude, I genuinely love it. This is the type of stuff that I think we need to do more of, because mainstream comics has just gone to crap lately.
Yeah, it's dead.
Oh, dude.
Other than like the Energon universe, which is pretty good, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple of the alternate universe books, like Absolute Wonder Woman's pretty good, actually. Surprisingly,
Yeah, that is
Spider-Man. Yeah, it's the only one that's good out of that Absolute line, in my opinion.
Oh, so Ultimate Spider-Man is an interesting, because it's a version of Spider-Man where he finally has is married and has got kids and stuff. My worry is that it would go off the rails. Is that still going all right? Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think so. It's a slow book, though.
Yeah.
But that's how Hickman always writes.
All right. So going back to the
mighty, you stabbed a comic book.
It's been a long time.
Bring the stab.
Well, next time a comic
I don't
asks you
read
to
bad
move-
ones to review for content anymore.
Next time, you can do that next time a comic book asks you to move at a track meet or something.
All right. Hey, Flash. So you've done some interesting things with the Mighty Golden Patriot, which I find fascinating, where it's got a classic kind of feel of, the superheroes, classic style. But at the same time, you've chosen to do some kind of original stuff where there is like a Super Sentai kind of angle to this. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration? Because I know you just love this stuff, right? Yeah. What kind of prompted you to try and merge those together?
I just wanted to do something that I would go and pick up. Like, if this was in a store, like, this is something that would interest me. Like, okay, what's this? We're in an alternate history, and we've got some Sentai stuff going on.
And it's also based in World War II, right?
Everyone's fighting
that's the alternate history part.
Love it. It's funny, like, I'm actually writing a graphic novel that's also alternate history, and it's based in 1910. And look, I hope to get it done sometime. It's just a matter of balancing my time schedules and stuff. But I love alternate history.
Some occult stuff. Like, I'm fascinated by this, like the Indiana Jones aspect to it, because I really like the occult stuff that the Nazis were into. I find that fascinating. Like the shit they were doing, like like that giant bell they were trying to build, or how they were going after and trying to find like old relics, like the Spear of Destiny, and they were even looking for the Holy Grail. So
did you hear about the fact that they actually, the rumor goes that they actually did find the Spear of Destiny, and there was like an operation undergone by the Allies to steal it, and we succeeded. We got the Spear of Destiny, and when we got the Spear of Destiny, they started losing the war. So the story goes.
Yeah, they lost it. Yeah. Apparently we have it now. And we moved it to another country.
For some reason.
But I believe somebody, I think the Vatican has a piece of it, don't they?
They should.
I mean, gee, I'm always skeptical about that type of stuff, because do you know the amount of religious relics people were trying to just flog off in the medieval period? There were like multiple, there were so many fingers of one of the apostles, stuff like that. He had like 20 fingers or more.
Well, maybe he did, Shad. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe they're selling those toes as fingers.
Well, that's how they make holy water, right?
Or they dip a finger in?
They dip a part of a dead apostle or a saint or something into the water, and it's supposed to make it holy.
Oh, I thought they just blessed it.
I thought they just, I don't
No,
know.
you're
I don't know.
drinking
I don't know what
something
you
that's
say to
different
bless
back
water,
or-
so I don't. I thought you just prayed over it.
That's how it works in D&D.
But sorry, go, Lumi.
I don't know how I'd feel about getting touched with holy water that had a dead person's finger in it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before. Where are you getting this shit, Mike?
I don't know. I heard
Is
it.
that
It was
even
on the
legal
internet.
to own a human remain like that?
Dude,
I don't even
freaking!
think that's
I think
legal.
like every Catholic church probably has some piece of some dead saint. It's that the relics are. Ask Shad. The relics are everywhere.
Was it
No, they're in the medieval period. They were. There's not that many still hanging around.
I know for a fact Aishri has like 3 skulls now.
Well, they got sent to him.
No, but it's not,
you
it's-
can
it's
buy
right,
a
like-
human skeleton, I think, for medical reasons. Yeah.
No,
Heck,
there's
you can go to the Bone Museum down in I forgot what state it was, but you can buy some random fucking bones that got donated to them.
Yeah, there are weird shops that get a hold of like human, remains, mostly bones of some type that were either donated or people didn't care about their remains and stuff like that, and they just sell them as products.
Was it one of the Robin Hood movies where Friar Tuck was selling chicken bones as holy relics?
There's something Friar Tuck would do.
Possibly.
I mean, have you guys ever been to an Oddities shop or an Oddity convention? There's some weird shit there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like this,
it's so cool. It's like my sister got a piglet skeleton that was in a display case and stuff, and it's so cool. It's like when we were kids, there was a rabbit skull in our backyard, but our mom said we couldn't try to bleach it, but whatever, I guess.
I've seen that's what those weird shops those are the ones where you can buy human remains and things.
Why would you want to own human remains? I don't.
People are weird.
Wouldn't you want to say, hey, I have this dude's femur?
No.
I mean, come on, it'd be cool to have like a random femur and just be like, hey, look it, I got it. Where'd you get it? I ain't telling you, but I got
it. Have you guys seen what have you guys seen what a hippo skull looks like?
It's been a while since I've seen
rad, dude.
Like here is a hippo skull.
It's so cool.
That they look like some weird sci-fi monster skull.
Look at those teeth.
Yeah. Hippos are vicious. I hate hippos. Friggin' they like there's more
they kill more people than lions, yeah.
They're bad because even lions won't fuck with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Friggin' really strong biting power. Like it's
and have you seen them poop? It's disgusting.
They go after like they're so territorial that there are people in boats that go near where they are, and they just try and hunt them down. And like if those hippos got a hold of them, those people are dead. Not a chance of surviving. Though, interestingly enough, this does segue us into one of the other topics that we've been talking about online. Have you guys? No.
Wait, you got multiple topics done in one stream?
Well, I know this is amazing. We're doing great. Have you guys seen the discussion around the 100 men versus gorilla?
Yes.
I seen the video, but I have no context. What the fuck is that about?
I want to fight a gorilla.
Is it an AI? I didn't know there was a video. I just saw people debating, like why
discussing.
Why would you even do that? First off, if I was going to go against a gorilla, I would just take a gun.
Yes,
and then it'd be one man versus a dead gorilla.
No, it has to be hand-to-hand combat.
It be hand-to-hand.
Cheating.
It has to be an honorable combat.
That's a losing situation.
Not with the attitude.
By the way, I didn't put this in the chat while we were talking about it, but go get Mighty Golden Patriot at the link in the chat.
Yes.
Check it out. And you can get one at an affordable price, but then there's variant covers like Mike's cover, which is available. And guys, this is the stuff that you want to support, right? And so genuinely, if you're getting fed up with the bull crap that's happening in mainstream stuff, support the independent creators. And Yellow Flash has put his money where his mouth to develop this thing, and it looks absolutely brilliant. I love the alternate history stuff. I actually kind of think this is where a lot of classic superhero stuff, because it started when
a lot of it started in World War II.
Yes, it started in that time.
Those are some of my favorite comics to collect. That was like the main inspiration. It was like old books like The Fighting Yank.
Nice.
Captain America, Human Torch, Namor, all of them were fighting in World War II.
I remember there's Superman cartoon, old school Superman cartoon, where it's just like the whole cartoon is just Superman. He went to Japan, I guess, and he just spends all night destroying Japanese ships. It's awesome.
DC actually was afraid to go all in on it. Timely Comics went harder on World War II than DC did, because for a while they wouldn't even really do anything with it.
That was the
reasoning behind Captain America on that cover bunching Hitler, is because they wanted to make a statement right out of the gate.
I find it just really funny, some of those those covers that you see made in that time, they can be very culturally insensitive, you could say.
Yeah, like Superman slapping a Jap.
Superman could also like reconfigure his face to be Japanese. It's like buck teeth and stuff.
I've tried to buy that comic so many times, and I always get outbid.
I don't know why.
I've been outbid like 5 times.
It'd be so based if James Gunn brought that power back that he can change his face.
Well, apparently he's going to do Superman is shit.
I just like to point out what my avatar is.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a Batman comic where he blows a firecracker up around him and Mussolini and Hitler. Him and Robin are in the corner laughing while they get blown up by a giant piece of dynamite. Have you ever seen that cover?
No, I haven't.
Hold on.
So. Oh, dude. That's hilarious.
I bought it at C2E2 last year.
I can't help but think that if this whole thing woke stuff happened during World War II, all the anti-Hitler, like the punching people, punching Nazi people would be very pro-Hitler. Like, oh, why is Trump going to war with Germany? He's going to cause a world war. Like they probably like a push for appeasement.
Here you go. I'm sharing it. This is I have this comic.
Let's see.
This is one of my pride and joys. This book.
Oh my
God! There's not a lot of Batman World War II covers. There's quite a few Superman ones, but Batman didn't do it that much.
You know,
the 4th of July.
I think a lot of people forget that during World War II, the reason why a lot of these comics, a lot of cartoons, like Looney Tunes, like even Disney, like Disney and everything, were making these, like, you know, as a distraction, as morale, because nobody wants to focus on war, especially when they're not involved with it.
I'll show you another one. Hold on.
Kobo said.
I mean, we should probably show Steamboat while we're at it.
Oh, dude. Products of their time. But the thing is, though, when people have, like, you know, they're depicting like the birth of the superhero in the world in terms of world building and story and stuff, I love the ones that, if they do it, but like having them come about during the time when they were actually created in media, during, you know, the 1930s and stuff, and I'm doing like 1910s, because they fit so well in that time. Like trying to make superheroes, you know, created in the modern day, it can work. You can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, but there's just like this, I don't know, different perspective, this innocent, wholesome that you can.
There you go.
To it.
This is one of my favorites too. One of the time you see him using a gun.
Oh, get him.
Keep those bullets flying.
Oh my God.
Keep on buying war bonds and stamps.
Listen here, 12-year-old Robin, you got to help me kill these Japs.
Yeah, Robin's feeding the guns and the ammo into him.
Oh, do you own that one?
Like he's smiling too. He's like, "Yeah, get him, Batman."
Oh my gosh! All right, everyone, buy the Mighty Golden Page shit, available on Ripper Send. Mike, if you could drop the link again, and now we need to discuss this important debate. This is one of those debates, like you know, for society, for men, everything. Could 100 men defeat a gorilla?
Sure.
This is what we need to know. Mike thinks yes. Dev, what do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My money's on men.
Men. All right, Lumi, your thoughts?
I think it depends. How pissed off is the gorilla to start? And are the men positioned accordingly? It's all about position, because can he get an upper hand or not? So I would say if the gorilla's pissed off, the men are going to lose. If the gorilla is at baseline, there's a chance that they will win.
All right.
Wait, what kind of men are these?
Well, we'll discuss. Yellow Flash, what do you think?
Who'd they vote for?
Yeah, exactly.
That is actually kind of an important question.
It is actually. Because if these are men that are not aggressive or know how to fight, I think the gorilla will roll them. But if
these are white dudes for Kamala, white dudes for Harris,
they're stuffed. But if the men are committed to murder this gorilla, I reckon 100 men easy. Could
Easy.
There'll be injuries, there'll be deaths, but numbers, and if they're just committed, they could do it.
I mean, another important factor, what kind of gorilla? Silverback? Is it like, if it's a silverback, I don't know.
Okay,
Who did the gorilla vote for?
Well, the gorilla voted for Kamala. We all know
It's
that.
funny. The
He
gorilla
didn't vote for anybody. Killed the other alpha male.
The gorilla seems to be more standard kind of, strength levels versus men. But we have some simulations. People have been.
This Harambe? Is this Harambe or another gorilla?
So, I'm not sure.
Get him, man! Get him!
What is, like, the gorilla seems like it's trying to do something else there.
Oh, I got him. Fell down. Gorilla's down.
And the men are just kind of swarming.
Oh.
I'm not sure that this simulation is that accurate.
That's also a 12-foot tall gorilla, which I've
That's
never.
a really big gorilla.
Yeah, why is he like King Kong?
Yeah.
Can 100 men beat Mighty Joe Young?
Although,
why is he trying to do he's doing very odd hand motions? I'm just saying.
But he's like fighting 100 Trump voters, though. So the guys might have a chance.
I don't know,
Maybe.
but we all know the gorilla would be trying to hit someone with another person that he's grabbing as well.
Yeah. Look. Oh, the gorilla's down.
Oh, he's down. He's down. The men win.
So-
The men win.
All right. 38 men remaining in that very scientific simulation. Okay.
The gorilla won 6 or 7 times. The men only have to win once.
This is true. It's true. All right. We have another simulation here. Let's see if this one is a bit more. This one looks a bit more high tech.
AI.
Okay. That's
gorilla versus AI.
Is it? I don't know if that music is going to get us pinged. The gorillas. All right. The gorillas
That's Nintendo.
is.
The King Kong.
The gorilla seems to be using more gorilla-like techniques. This feels more realistic. This one, swing around. I think the men should be rushing the gorilla more.
Yeah, they're not using any strategy at all.
Exactly.
They're just standing there.
flailing
This
in.
isn't a very good one either.
No,
It's like our strength is we're not as strong as the gorilla, but we are very strategic.
I mean that is true. I reckon men, if they were committed to kill the gorilla, we should capitalize on our intelligence and start to use some strategy, right? Like if some men move aside to bait the gorilla out to them, and then they all rush the gorilla from. Do you think enough men could hold down and restrain a gorilla?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
If
You know what the strategy should be? Get him.
Just rush him.
Get him. Look at it. They're going 2 at a time. This is
I did like that.
ridiculous.
That's actually kind of like human nature.
So far, here's my favorite thing about these 2 examples. The men won. The AI lost. AI loses.
Actually, Flash, you're pointing out human nature. Human nature would actually be, out of the 100 people, about 1 or 2 of them would rush the gorilla and the rest would run away.
All right. So some people have been sharing some counter.
I would be one of the people running away.
Well, that's how you would lose, because if too many people think that way, Flash, the men are stuffed, and the gorilla will then just get to take them on.
That's how people think, Shad.
Well, I'm not going to fight a gorilla.
How would you know if you could?
If I was going to fight one, I would for sure use a fucking weapon.
No, has to be hand-to-hand combat. No
yeah,
cheat.
this is hand-to-hand.
But that's not realistic.
Well, then
you would grab a stick. You would grab a giant rock.
Okay, are they allowed to do that? Are men allowed to grab things in their immediate vicinity?
No, it has to be hand-to-hand.
Are you allowed to kick the gorilla in the
That's
nuts?
why it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, because that's the thing. If too many of the men think I'm not getting in on this, the gorilla will win, because you have to be aggressive and rush them together. If not, and people have shared this is the counter argument. Like, these are 2 gorillas. Like, when gorillas decide to really get into stuff. Now, in my opinion, this is what the gorilla would be doing to the men in the front line. And I reckon those men would just be running for anything, right? But if then enough men just jump on it from behind, maybe then.
I know the perfect incentive.
You would have to sacrifice.
At least
you could tire the gorilla out. So you would have to
Yeah.
sacrifice waves of men to
I think-
get it tired out, and then people with fresh stamina go in there and just jump on it and kill it.
Wave after wave of my own men.
I have the
Do a
perfect way we can
Chernobyl
do this
situation.
experiment. I have 2 ideas.
I
For this
know that
experiment.
many of you will die, but it's a sacrifice
Like,
I'm willing
I
to
am willing to make. Yeah, just the Farquaad method.
It's like, okay, are you guys familiar with the show Deadliest Warrior that used to be on Spike?
Absolutely, yeah.
I am
love
very, very
Vikings
familiar
with the
Deadliest
Viking
Warrior.
shield wall.
I have very strong opinions of Deadliest Warrior.
I know you
do. Don't get me
They're always,
started.
they're always incredibly accurate, down to like the.
Shut up, Flitter.
I mean,
So accurate.
come on, Deadliest Warrior had to be as accurate as Forged in Fire. Come on.
I like Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior.
Have you seen my reactions to Forged in Fire? I gotta watch
I love that show.
I have seen your
It
reaction
will kill.
to it.
Will
So
it will cut.
You know what? This pen will kill.
Heal. It's like I love Forged in Fire, but it was
You know, me
funny
too.
watching your reactions.
I mean, I actually do enjoy the show, and I really enjoy Deadliest Warrior in spite of all my criticisms of it, because there was some fun stuff. Like, one of the things I loved about Deadliest Warrior was the Viking versus Samurai, and Vikings did get robbed. Like, that's what pisses me off most is their conclusions. But some of the tests where they get to show the quality of the weapons, all right, seeing the katana go up against a chainmail shirt, a proper chainmail shirt, and just get completely destroyed, like stopped in its tracks. That was very satisfying. I enjoyed.
What were they trying to slice it?
They were trying to slice it, and it had no chance of doing it.
Did you ever see a knife fight?
Katanas have trouble stabbing through chainmail. I know, I've tried.
What?
Oh, they have trouble. You can just get it through, and right, like it has to be such a perfectly aligned hit.
No,
huge amounts of
Shad.
force behind, and the target needs to be braced. Without
No.
that, chainmail struggles.
No.
To, sorry, katana struggles.
A katana can cut through anything, Shad. They can cut
Yeah,
through
the
anything.
anime told me so, Shad.
That's right. That's right.
Get with the program, Shad.
Sorry, Lumi, you were saying you know how to solve this. And
Oh,
as you
no.
discussed, we have another simulation. This one is showing the men being more aggressive. Okay, so
How many are these? Like this is pretty good.
Why
This
are
is
these
good.
gorillas so big?
Yeah, that's way too
Yeah.
big.
Like all these men are. I think all these men are
Look
like
at
in
these men are
collared
committed.
shirts.
Good on them. They're getting like, oh, look, that would hurt. I know that would hurt. Okay, yeah.
See how they're
But-
just standing
but
back?
they
That's why it's
yeah,
not real.
Rush it now. Now the guys are getting into it.
These are
Okay.
like guys who work at the office. Like,
Okay, I don't just stand there. What's that? Oh no! Oh, that one wasn't going to end nice.
Rumble Hotep, I don't know if hand-to-hand combat would really work on a gorilla. I mean,
It depends, but
That's
I'm
what you
sure
have to do is break its fingers. That's
There's
the
enough
only
hands.
thing
How
you
you
could
can
break on a
get-
gorilla is one of its
I'm
fingers.
going right for his eyes.
Ooh.
I think
It's
targeting
this
the
is how
eyes.
you get
Balls.
very. This
Anything
is how you get
goes.
very dedicated people to try to beat up this gorilla barehanded. You take
Hey.
all of the death row inmates and say, if you guys can kill this gorilla, the remaining amount of you can go on parole.
That would work.
Parole. Not
Parole.
freedom, just
Parole, not freedom.
enough freedom.
They got
They'll
nothing
get
else to
freedom.
lose.
You're still gonna be watched.
There's a video out there of this rabid dog like attacking another dog, and somebody comes up and starts sticking their finger in its anus.
What the fuck?
I'm like, what is this guy? What does he
Mike-
know?
Oh, I saw
But
that.
Mike-
But what the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you guys watching? How the hell did you find a
It's
clip
on
like
Twitter, dude. Twitter
Yeah,
is
this
it's
shit.
just a
If you just
cesspool.
doom scroll a little bit,
Well,
all
Twitter's-
kinds
yeah,
of dumb
that's
shit
true.
pops up.
My
Some
favorite thing to
weird
find are
stuff.
those Asians with the masks playing like random pain games. Those are really funny.
I'm just
No.
wondering if 1,000 Years of Death would work on a gorilla.
I don't think so. I think it would just piss it off.
or turn it on, and then some really weird stuff might
Well,
happen.
because in the monkey sphere, that's the raping other males is a dominance move. So it's
Oh
like
no. Oh dear.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, another gorilla and its thing and your little finger.
But the same thing happens in
well,
prison.
what if one of those guys
No, no anally fisting the gorilla. The fuck's wrong
Not,
with you?
okay, we are getting into places now. Thanks,
Demonetized.
thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike and Lumi. Look, I reckon Flash has the right idea. Like, because the gorilla.
Flash said he was going to run away.
Yeah, I would. I'm running.
Go
If
for
I
the
can't use a
eyes.
weapon, I'm gone.
The thing is, though, if you try to go for the eyes, you're already dead because that means you're in. It's
Well, not if the gorilla's
range
killing
of
somebody else. You come.
Yeah.
That's true.
You
That's
jump on
true.
the back, you
Yeah.
wrap your arms around it, and then you just thumb
Gouge
in
the
eyes
eye.
and you just claw.
Yeah, and you're back there anyway, so you might as well try
Remember,
the 1,000 death.
it would work if you do the Farquaad strategy. Like some of you may die, but the rest of us will live.
Well, here's the thing. You know, this is what most men actually think what would happen. And if they were fighting a gorilla, this is what they would do.
One-on-one.
Yeah, this is and ready? Yeah, that's what men think that how it would go down.
What do you mean think? That's how it would go down.
I mean, well, you know, I have trouble seeing the lie here. You know,
Is that boxing show? I think my son watches
I actually don't know what this is from. I just came
Baki?
out of
Like,
nowhere.
is that the boxing show you watch?
It kind of like Baki.
Yeah. What's it called? Hajime.
Does it-
Hajime no.
Hajime yo.
Hajime
This is clearly
no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo.
Oh, that's
Hajime yo.
Hajime
It
no
might be.
Ippo.
I've heard of it. I don't know it though. Does anyone know where this gorilla thing came up or originated?
No,
I've
this
just
is-
seen people.
I
arguing.
saw who is it? Mr. Beast retweet something, and it was actually 100 N-words versus a gorilla.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Mr.
So I'm
Beast?
guessing that's why maybe
Was
it
he
went
hacked?
viral.
That's not very friendly.
All he did was
friendly.
retweet it. I mean,
Hang on. What? Like,
he didn't say it.
I think I saw a headline of that, right?
Oh, did
And
they
I didn't
cancel him for that?
Hang on. Is it? Did he actually
Well, yeah.
retweet it? Or
He didn't
was
say
that-
it. He just retweeted
You're
it.
not allowed to even retweet that kind of thing. Not if you're.
I've
Mr. Beast.
retweeted
No.
people dropping the N-bomb before.
Well, yeah.
It's
but,
usually like a black dude saying it, though.
but you're not. You're not
Or Japanese VTubers.
Oh, yeah. That's funny when that happens.
Sorry, Asians, right? They do not have the cultural, you know,
Oh, we
concern
racist.
around
Crazy,
that
bro.
war.
They'll just say it.
And-
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
Asians are
And
pretty
they'll even say
racist.
It's like, I'm racist. I'm racist. Odie, you know what you're saying? Yeah, I'm racist.
That's true. That's true.
You seen them trolling I Show Speed?
I think you get like a. You get
Yeah,
these
in
birds that
China, that was pretty funny.
I was like, he's obviously leaning into it because it's content and his reactions are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just encourages.
He's
more
really
people.
entertaining, I think.
I actually like I Show Speed. I have not watched any of his streams, but I've seen clips.
Yeah,
And the
that's all
stuff
I've
that
seen are clips, but every clip I've seen of him, he's like doing
have been
wild
funny.
shit.
Have you seen the one with the bottle jar over his lips that he does, and he pulls it off, and like it causes blood vessels or something to expand his that is actually funny.
I
So
have not seen that.
I really it makes me want to look that up. Hang on, surely I can, because that one is one of his more common ones. Let me try and find it. I got so many tabs up. Holy crap! All right. So I Show Speed. Let me just
drag racing outside.
I don't
While
know.
you're waiting, everyone, go get Yellow Flash's comic book.
Back it
Make sure-
today.
And make sure
Right
you get a
now.
copy of. Make sure you get a copy of Tales of the Battlefield. I think that's what's called.
That's a $6 edition.
Yeah.
Dude. And like you have a mini story that you wrote with Dev.
That's what he wrote.
That's the core one I wrote. I helped with the script of the main one, like structure it, but I wrote the mini one. I wrote the book, that book, the Tales of the Battlefield.
What's it about? No
I-
spoilers, but I'm interested.
Well, I went ahead and so I wanted to lean into the cult. It's about the main character's dad and fighting in World War I.
Grandfather.
And grandfather fighting in World War I.
Hey, he wrote it.
I don't know how far the relationship is back. I just know that the character.
Well, it's not. I mean, he doesn't even know his grandson then.
Yeah, not yet.
The point of the book is to be, it's like the story that got him excited to join and enlist.
Ah.
And so the whole thing takes place in Japan, which was a cool challenge because we're allies with Japan in World War I. So I had to do some creativity there, and I kind of like, okay, what brings it to Japan? So I made like a female ninja. I made like an evil boss, and I put in some occult magic in there, and I had a really cool like showdown at the end. It's not just like a regular showdown. It's like a shoot 'em up. It's a test of wit and luck. So I think
We did get some sales. Thank you, chat.
Awesome. Hey, All right, you haven't seen this.
I already know where this is going to go.
So this is like the Kylie lip challenge or something like that.
Oh, brother.
So,
Lip challenge.
Oh, this shit. I remember this.
Oh, look at this lips. Oh my God.
Oh my fucking
Looks like one of those women from Modern Housewives now with the Botox injections.
Balloon face.
Yeah.
This is funny. Like that is actually hilarious. And
terrible.
so, oh my gosh. I sure speak. I haven't gone further in depth. All I've seen is like random crap like that, and I got a chuckle out of it. And so, the ones in China where people are trolling him and stuff.
Yeah, there was like somebody that brought him a bucket of chicken. He opens it up. He's like, "What is this?"
There's the one guy. He has like a bag of charcoal. He puts his head in it, shakes his head around, takes it off, and he goes and he poses and recreates an image of Usher.
Oh, did you see the clip where someone gave him a bouquet of cotton plants? And he just started picking it.
No.
This is so laces.
But he's obviously leaning into it, and
Yeah.
it's content, and like when you can just joke about this stuff and be lighthearted about it, you know, I think that's a better state than getting triggered by everything. Like, and so
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear about the blackout that's happening in Spain, Portugal, and France?
No.
Yeah, this only on my feed this morning, right? But a mass blackout in Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, right? Every single part of digital life, from shops to traffic lights, hospitals, airports, phones, trains, all down. And this is an electric train that's just like stalled, and people can't. They're in the middle of nowhere because they can't.
Weird. Why was there an election going on? Like, why was there a blackout?
I have no idea. This is just like was breaking news this morning, but this one, I don't know if this is true because footage like this can so easily be, grabbed from other stuff. Because they're saying this is a scene from a Portuguese supermarket, and it's like, I could believe it, but is it? I'm just so skeptical of stuff like this because oftentimes
reminds me of
when
COVID.
when you hear emergencies and stuff, footage from past things get used to try and show like this is what's going on.
The only thing that's left in the whole store is the fake meat.
I've seen those. But the only reason, like, one, it's concerning and it's a more recent thing that's happened. But this is what makes me want to be a prepper, because if you take away electricity for a long enough time, society is stuffed. Everything will break down.
Yeah.
And it's concerning how fragile, our
3 days.
I did have a sociology teacher in college who kind of like was trying to come up with a hypothetical, like, okay, so some terrorists might come in and try to disrupt civilization. What do they need to do? First of all, get rid of electricity. And then every single other example was coming back to all they would have to do is get rid of electricity. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. We only have in any rural area that doesn't have farmland or whatever, it's like you have 3 days of food and then you're toast.
And then I'm coming to take it with my peacemaker.
Well, that's the concerning thing. Like people assume that people are all so civilized, and as soon as people get hungry, I think everyone's going to be surprised just how civilized people really are.
Have you played the game War?
Bro, we went through COVID. We understood how uncivilized people get so quickly already. It's like I'm listening to the Gulag Archipelago again, and man, it's like going through COVID just reminds me of the stuff that people turned each other in for in Soviet Russia. And it's like living through COVID and just having been familiar with all the stuff they did in Russia. I'm like, this is how people so quickly end up just turning on each other for, I mean, we did it for a flu.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's fear just commands people and just breaks them down. And when we were talking about earlier, it's like 99 of those people would run. There's a reason there's a word hero. It's because most people are cowards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the reality of it. And most of those people will turn you in. They'll come steal your food. You know, they'll do what they have to do to survive, and their brotherly love is out the window. That's just the sad fact of the human race.
Have you played War of Mine? Because you have to make those choices there too. It's a pretty interesting game.
It's like it's sad that, like, even when you decide that you want to start being a prepper, you can't let people know that you are a prepper, because if something happens, they're targeting you first because they know that you will have stuff.
That guy has food.
Yeah, he has food. He has a stockpile of stuff. It's like,
we just got to get through his booby traps and his guns.
Yeah, that's why you need part of prepping is protecting what you prep. And
yeah.
And
granted, it's hard to protect things in, like, you know, in an apartment building. But
that'd be like,
granted,
I think Shad would be like the best prepper because you'll have like AI robots protecting everything.
Oh, that, and also just a medieval arsenal.
And you'll have like this like a supercomputer of AI. Like, hello, are you Shadiversity? No, you're not.
Well, there's that. Like, Apocalypse would be much weirder in Australia, and I think more brutal because there's fewer guns. The people who have guns will be on the top of the pile, but they'll run out of ammo pretty quickly over here. And so then it has to go back to the medieval methods. And
man,
you know how to use a sword.
You see Greg Johnson's comment. You know what they say? Female cops are ammo pickups.
Oh man,
man! Now I'm lucky that a very lovely member of my community actually got me a battle-ready sword when I was playing through Kingdom Come Deliverance.
What type of sword?
It's a long sword.
Yeah, but you know the maker? Do you know where you bought it? Do you know? If you have a link of where it's bought, who knows? I might have even reviewed it.
Give me a second.
I think
you could have been ripped off. I'm just saying.
The real question is, do you have nunchucks?
The best weapon ever made.
In an apocalypse, Mike, would you honestly use nunchucks?
Look,
I could bring them with me. But
Shad, I heard you really like the nunchucks, though. Do you want to tell me about it?
They're awesome. I mean, I saw them in John Wick 4. I mean, he beat up like 5 guys.
John Wick, he does amazing things with it. So does Bruce Lee. Like they're great in film, except every time people try and use them in real life.
I saw John Wick 4. They're great in battles, like against giant men.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, here you go. I put it in private chat. This is the one that I was gifted.
Cult of Athena. All right, so good
accident really hurts.
Yes, it
really does. It's not like nothing to get hit.
It's a windlass. Okay, battle cry. All right, so I should share this because this is people appreciate swords and LUMI. I'm going to give you props. This is a good one to have. So this is from Cult of Athena, and it is a windlass Bosworth longsword. Not bad. Not a bad pick. Look, I'm not a fan of the blackened kind of tactical thing. The wrap, it's okay. Ooh, that looks like a pretty significant secondary bevel. What's the secondary bevel like this? On it, LUMI.
Huh?
Oh, come on. You don't even know what a secondary bevel is? And you own a sword?
I was gifted the sword because I was no life in Kingdom Come Deliverance. For the first time, and 2, I'm just starting to get into the sword nerd shit outside of watching your videos, so I'm slowly learning things.
Good. It's got a nice. I like the shape of the crossguard. This is one of my favorite shapes of crossguard. What we need to check is the steel. What's steel? 1065 high carbon steel. Okay, that from all the specs looks like an actual battle-ready longsword. Like what they're marketing seems to be what they're selling. Guys, can you I hate this. What's that in kilos? 3.06 pounds. Can someone convert that? Point of balance, 4.5 inches.
It's like 1.3 pounds is like 1.3 kilograms.
That's a good weight. That's a good weight. All right. Lumi, it looks like you have a decent longsword on your hands. I approve.
If you look at chat, Harbinger X, he's the one that got me the sword. He's very sweet. He has a sword collection himself, so he knew which ones to suggest.
Send me a sword.
Yes.
Come on.
Harbinger X, I approve. Man, I had a sword like on hand, and I must have moved it. Hang on. Well, I have a very special sword that people will find out about soon.
That's the sword you really want in Apocalypse, because the katana, you can block bullets with it. So
Lit Dev, this is no ordinary katana.
It's the Shadiversity katana.
What do you see on the Suba there, Lit Dev? And that's all I'm trying. That is something I've actually been working on behind.
That one can block twice the bullets.
All the bullets.
I'd really love to get like a legit samurai sword.
Oh well, I might be able to help you out soon. Flash. Well, when you say legit, what do you mean by legit?
It means one made
One
in
from
Japan.
made in from ancient Japan.
I've got
it won't be as strong.
They should have a tourist thing.
Yeah, but it's the history behind it.
It is.
That
All
makes
right.
it cool.
If that's what you want, good. If that's what you want and you understand that's what you're buying, yeah. As for the artistic, cultural kind of beauty behind it, 100%. If you're wanting the toughest, strongest, sword that can do the job of a sword, you don't want to get a traditional katana. The traditional ones are expensive, dude. They'll set you back nearly 10 grand. And even the ones made in other countries.
It's hard to even get one though, because they don't let them leave the country.
That's right. They're national treasures, so they're not allowed to leave unless you're a national citizen. My mom actually has one, so I get it someday.
Chad, are your katanas all folded 10,000 times?
I had one that wasn't folded, but that folding is such a misunderstood thing. But it was made in the traditional layering method of Honsen Mai, which is hardened edge, medium carbon on the edge, soft carbon in the back and spine. And it was a $3,000 katana. And we tested that to its breaking point. And you
made a video of that, didn't you? I think I saw that one.
Yeah, I'd made a video on it. Spring steel. Get one that's made out of spring steel. You'll if that's what you want. If you want a functional one. Spring steel. That's what you want.
All the ones they used back in the day, functional.
Like more functional,
Yeah, they got to be able to block bullets if it's going to be in America.
This is true.
You don't block the bullets; you cut the bullets in half.
You know what? You're right. Oh. Man, but it's like I want to get more swords now. I only have one. I have it hanging up in my room, and now I want to get more.
Yes.
Good on you, Lumi.
Hey, have you seen the video of the
you.
dude that cuts the airsoft bullets in half with the katana? You have to have seen this.
Is it the ninja guy?
Yeah.
He's fake. I've done a video on him. So there's the guy that that throws an apple, cuts it and resheathes it.
Oh yeah, that guy.
No, not that guy.
Because that's editing fakery. What he does, you can actually see the cuts when you slow it down. And he uses
Shad. Your eyes are just too human.
No, really,
the movement.
Hey,
Nigami eyes or something.
We're gonna shift and catch all the super chats now and start to wrap up. And this has been hilarious fun. Thank you so much for joining us, Lumi and Flash. It's been an absolute pleasure. And let's grab some of these. So James Knight the second for $20 says, "Hello everyone, happy to catch you guys live. Happy that you caught us live. Can't wait to hear you guys talk. I use the site and download on principle. Well done. Is
Uh-oh. Is
They
the
got him.
blackout hitting him now?
The blackout.
The blackout.
You see,
oh no!
Taking him down for talking so badly about
Look,
summer.
now if America had a blackout, it'd be the greatest blackout anyone's ever seen, anyone's ever known.
Well,
We have
yeah,
all
we
the
gotta
best
have the
blackouts.
best in everything.
We got
If
the
it's
best
gonna be the
blackout.
blackout, it has to be the best.
I mean, you've all been through blackouts before, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest. It just feels like you're in like The Walking Dead or something. Like
It really does.
you're like trying to get your old AM radio out of the garage and like see if
The first
I really want to get. You can get these generators that hook up to your gas line. They're expensive though, so you just you lose power, it just kicks on with the gas, and you keep on going. But they're like
Sure,
10
yeah.
grand. They're expensive.
Well, it's worth it if there's a blackout.
I
This
guess
is true,
Mike's in
yeah.
charge now.
It is.
Welcome
And
to the Blacklist Universe stream.
Hello, welcome everyone. Please get on over to ripperverse.com. I'm dropping a link and get
by the way-
yourself flashes and lit devs and mines. Cover B.
Cover B unless you want that D. But
Get cover B unless you're gay. No, I'm just kidding.
you should have been cover D, Mike. Then you could get all the jokes.
I don't know.
I like them all. I like all the covers.
When you go
They're
to
all
the Ripperverse
great covers.
website, when you go to the Ripperverse website, make sure you go to Ripascend. It's not under
Did you see-
comics or campaigns.
Did you see Kelsey Shannon's cover?
Yeah, it's awesome.
He
So
sent
is
me,
it-
I have the original art.
Nice.
Kelsey's awesome.
I gotta buy a variant of each cover, so then it can just say I have them all.
I love
Really?
all the. I think all the covers are fantastic.
Yeah.
But I
The
got to
freaking
give it
Rob
because I'm
Willis
a
cover is dope, dude.
I'm a big fan of those painted covers. So Kelsey's kind of grabs me.
Mm.
Kelsey Shannon. He's a tremendous talent who disappears into the swamps for years at a time.
I know. I talked about this on Saturday because I asked him, "You want to do a cover?" He said, "Sure. This is what I'm thinking." And he shows me some concept art. I'm like, "Let's do it." And then he vanishes.
Yeah.
Where's Kelsey? I haven't heard from him forever. It's been
That's
like
always-
almost a year.
Yep.
So I'm
Always been his
thinking,
thing.
okay, well, he something happened. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. I wasn't even mad. I was getting ready to move forward. And then he just pops out. He's like, I got it done. Here it is. What's your address again so I can send you this? Last minute.
Oh man,
Jeez.
that's happened to me a few times with commissions where it's like, okay, here's the concept. I pay because I usually do 50-50 payments. Pay my half of it. They disappear for almost a year, and then the entire thing full render done. And I'm like, I haven't heard from you in months. Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I send them
You
the
dead?
rest.
Yeah, we could only do 4 covers,
I
so
do-
I had to pick because I
Yeah,
had more
a little
than
bit of behind the scenes drama on that, huh?
well, I told him there was nothing personal. I mean,
I know.
it's a great cover. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just Kelsey Shannon.
You gotta have
Mike
Kelsey
Miller.
covering, man.
Next time, do a game.
But
of
I
rock,
have
paper,
covers
scissors.
for like a special second print, so
Good.
Oh.
Good.
I have those now.
Excellent. So gosh, I guess Shad's not coming back.
Shad just, I wonder if
Is
that
it-
actually did happen. Did he get hit by the blackout? It's like a blackout in Australia now.
The prison island of Australia didn't like him talking, so they had to cut him off.
They
Yeah.
can't call him. We heard that you're talking about swords. That's illegal in there. That's
You
legal.
were mocking katanas?
Yeah, the katana group got him. Yeah, you're mocking katanas, and you're mocking those nunchucks there. So we're
Yeah.
gonna take down your internet, Mike. Right.
I was waving this around while you were talking about heroes from alternate history, World War II. Flash. Did you not read Lone Star?
I haven't read it yet.
I read Lone Star.
Send me the link again, and I will.
I was actually impressed by how really good technique in story structure. Like I was actually pretty impressed actually with how well the story structure went.
But
Are
you
you not
were
gonna make any
expecting very
more?
little. Actually, the follow-up story to Volume 3 is Nobody's Business, and I'm already like, sheesh, 80 pages in, something like 80 pages into it. But it's a 144-page script, so it's taking me like friggin' 10 months to do the 80 pages, so it might take me another year to get the book done.
Not
But,
5 years.
I sent that to LitDev too.
I read through it. Made a
He's
few
left.
suggestions.
He's less impressed.
Well, I'm just not a fan of crypto stuff. It's not my
It's
thing.
not all about crypto
Wait,
stuff.
crypto's
What are
in
you
the
talking
book?
about?
You and your
Okay,
fucking
the
crypto.
lead character got rich trading crypto. That's all the crypto that's in it. What are you
Oh, it was funny.
Oh, that's
though.
not that bad then. What,
that
it sounds like it's like a
bad.
crypto
It's not-
Dark
it's not
Knight
all crypto.
Rises high scheme.
The bad guy is kind of cool. Like, the bad guy is pretty cool. I like the bad guy. But I do like that he was streaming and stuff. And that was
Yeah.
kind of funny that he was just on the stream and stuff. That caught my attention too. That's pretty funny.
Oh,
There, he's
look,
back.
he decided to show up.
Oh, there. Oh, he's on his phone.
Oh, what happened?
Computer blew up.
Is there blackout, Shad? Is there blackout?
My internet has died. Can you hear me?
This has happened to me before.
Oh man,
We can hear you.
Man, like I think I've been dodging bullets with live streaming so far because the internet in Australia sucks. And the fact that it hasn't happened, yet is kind of a miracle. It had to happen sometime, but it certainly happened recently. Now the thing is, though, it says my internet is back on the computer, so I might be able to
You can change back.
jump on. I might be able to change back. Let's see.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably going to be. All right, I think it's working again.
Is it working?
Let's see. Now there's going to be two of me.
Now there's none of these. Oh, there he is.
One is enough, Chad.
There's all the Shad's credit cards.
We're back, kind of. What were you guys talking about with me gone?
Well, Mike was
man.
showing off porno and
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Here's a porno I would like to ban.
My
And that's
thing, yeah.
that's going through.
Big
Okay,
porn
so
guy.
here's this next piece of hentai that I found. It's pretty neat.
his avatar for some reason became a giant penis.
Alrighty, thanks for holding down the fort with me.
We started
God,
showing
I-
videos of guys licking toilets.
And somehow the penis was animated. It was
I'm gonna do that for stream snipers.
Freaking Eric almost fell out of his chair when you.
It was funny. He showed somebody licking a pisser, they run off.
Interesting.
I mean, if you want to scare someone off, just start reading the Reddit story where a trans man said that they washed their hands with a urinal cake
Why would you do that? That's
Okay.
gross.
because they thought it was soap.
What about the urinal story about a guy who meets someone behind a TJ's Pizza and blows him?
Why is it always behind a pizza joint? What the fuck?
I know, right? What is it with pizza?
Heard rumors of these strange things going on, but before we dive down too much of a rabbit hole, let's get back to a super chat. James, I'm not sure how much I got to read, so I'll read the whole thing. It says, hello, everyone. Happy to catch you guys live. Can't wait to hear you guys talk about the Nexus mods. I use the site, download the mod on principle. Well done. It is also the most endorsed mod of all the Oblivion remastered mods. Hell yes, as it should be. Magma Fox becomes a new member. Welcome aboard, Magma Fox. Good to have you. Appreciate you. And
You know why Nexus Mods reinstated that, right? Because
Why?
that DEG Mods is picking up traction.
yeah,
So they picked
There's
it
a
up
rival.
because they keep banning everything. So people are going elsewhere, which is good. Finally, stop using that Nexus Mod site. Don't use them.
yeah, I agree. And good to see DEG. So it's DEG mods, is it?
Yeah, I think it's DEG. I don't use a lot of mods, so
I do. So I'm going to be totally checking them out. That's one of the reasons I haven't dived into Oblivion Remastered yet, because I want the mods to catch up. And so
if I use the mods, I don't get the achievements.
oh, I don't care about achievements.
I
kinda
never
like
played.
'em.
I never played Oblivion. I haven't even played the original before because I missed out. But I usually like playing games through the first time completely vanilla. Even if people say, "Oh, but the mod makes it better," it's like, no. Vanilla first, then I crack cocaine in the mods.
See, I'm the opposite. I want my first experience to be the catered to the way I like it, especially character creation. I want my characters to be able to look the way I want, and so I like expanded hairstyles, as well as quality of life mods and everything like that. And so Dragon's Dogma 2, man, the mods that came out with that eventually, there was a transmogrify mod that came out that you could switch the look of one weapon to another, and it changed. It was so cool. So there's a weapon called the two-handed, it's a duo spear. It's a two-handed bladed kind of thing. And I switched that out to a long sword, and the animations actually match
See?
it perfectly. It was
Here you go.
great.
Look what you can get on DEG Mods. Check it out.
Oh,
I started to download that right now. Do I have
Replace pride flags.
the mysterious missing mod.
You can get all the.
And to be
forbidden
fair, you can switch US flags to pride flags.
Oh,
you have
know,
options.
Yeah,
We can do it.
I'm
So
perfectly fine
the-
with that. Give people the
So what
freedom.
makes it
that they
fair
want.
is that you can do both. You can do either.
Yes,
So
Yeah,
100%.
I'm fine with that.
It's not
And
just
it's
one
funny, like-
side being represented.
we're not losing our friggin' crap that the fact that someone can do the opposite, right? We're perfectly fine. Give people the freedom, but the opposite side lose their bloody minds because they have to force their ideology on people. And
this one, though, this is the Middle Eastern version.
The Middle Eastern.
I'm not kidding.
So, wait,
the Middle Eastern throw the gays off the building.
We have
that's the Middle Eastern version. Okay.
Someone me for $5 says perhaps Lady Brooks would like a VTuber model. Maybe she has appeared on Night's Watch videos in reviews and stuff with an AI avatar. Maybe a VTuber model could work.
Oh, I can link you a customizable female VTuber model that is only about 120 USD. So I could send you the purchase link to that, and then she can just decorate it any way she wants. There's a lot of hairstyles, a lot of glow styles, lots of horn types, ear type. I'll send it.
If she joined more often, I probably would. But she only comes on occasionally. But I do have fun making kind of just AI avatars, and that does the job for it now. But Flash,
I'm thinking about doing that.
I reckon that could work great for you.
Because you see, like Hypnotic does that, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
If you know who Hypnotic is, he's got a VTube monitor. So it's a Gundam made one too. Like, seems like the right fit for me.
You should. I'm surprised you don't have one yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking about.
That's kind of a cool way to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm also thinking about just coming on camera with his carnivore diet is working.
Working out well.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a whole dumbbell set. I'm every day, man.
How many notches you down on your belt?
The carnivore diet. It's taking about 30
inches on your belt.
Oh, I'm talking about like 30 pounds.
Oh no, dude! I went down 4 freaking notches on my belt.
Nice.
I work out like almost every day.
Yeah, I don't. I sit here.
Dude,
I lost like 20 pounds just sitting here. I didn't change my activity at all.
Get a dumbbell set.
I mean, bro, I have a weight bench, but I just don't use it that often.
I mean, right now, what you could be curling, a weight right now.
I could just get a VTuber model of me being this epic Chad, and I'd be happy with that.
You should. It's like you can make it a super chat goal.
It's a great cheat code, and then I can be in that state forever.
You can. It's like hell. I got a fund going on over on Arch's channel where once we reach the fund goal, I'm getting him a Arch Cat model made. And he's going to use it for super chat goals. It's going to be fantastic.
Do the Ref Says Desu model and just 24/7 be the chick.
Well, that's the thing. Like females, I have such a friggin' advantage on social media. If they're even half attractive, and VTubing, you can just like skip it all, right? And then they get like, followers out. It's crazy. It's just, you guys have it on easy mode. You realize that, Lumi.
I don't network to people because I always feel like I'm a bother to them. I don't know how I got to the position that I am now, but I just kind of go with it.
just keep riding that wave. But genuinely, like I do think if a good-looking woman ended up making sword content, like, there's no women making sword content on YouTube at all. And so if even one that was half attractive started doing it, she would explode. If her content was even half decent and half competent, added with her being attractive, her following would just be out. Hey, Lumi, you're saying you're getting into swords. There's an opportunity.
I never plan on showing any part of my IRL self because I like private person. I don't like showing myself.
My wife is very much the same. That's why we do AI avatars, because the internet just can be a dangerous place, unfortunately.
Yep.
So you're missing out on the foot market.
Don't. Arch has been telling me since he decided to start the foot narrative. Oh, why don't you sell foot pictures, Lumi? And I'm just like, no. But granted, it could be worse. I could be Kibs.
Dude, you know what's funny? Like way back in the day, like 6 years ago, I was on Cecil's channel, and I started, and this is where this came from, by the way. Right, I started drawing stuff with my feet. Like I had the camera pointed at the floor, and I had a floorboard down here, and I was drawing stuff. I was drawing Boba Fett. I drew this, and dude, like 400 people from out of the book. Their names were like Toe Jam and Foot Raider,
Oh, no.
and like all like the whole foot fetish community like raided Cecil's
I don't
channel.
think you want that kind of crowd.
And a bunch of them stuck around. This is the funny part.
The theory is that like the part of your brain for like foot moving your feet is near the pleasure part of your brain, and that's where they're saying it trips up on some people, and that's why they have a foot fetish. But that's all theoretical.
I do not understand.
Plus, I have beautiful feet.
By the way, DG Mods also has the same kind of mod for Elden Ring. So instead of bi-type A and bi-type B, you could also get male and female there.
Good stuff. Based.
There's
Magma Fox. What?
There's a mod that makes some characters from brown to white in Cyberpunk.
Anything's allowed.
Did you see that meme of from the Pokemon game, and it's like a girl and boys stand next to each other? I've never stood in the rain with a body type A before.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like, there's no point. There's no point to it, but they do it just to appease the mob. I hate it.
You should appease the guys with money.
Fox. Yeah. Magma Fox at $10 says, why can't I take off Type 1's top? Because Type 1 is female. It is the funniest quote I've seen from this controversy. Type 1. Hold on a second. It's a strange world. James Sap $5 said, Shad, are you going to do a reaction to the new Sabaton music video on Shadiversity? I think it might help with the algorithm overlord. I'll check it out. I haven't heard of it. Love Sabaton, though. The Last Stand is just gold. Epic. Denny, you know who Sabaton is? Oh, look at this uncultured swine.
Kitty. It's a cat.
I play one of their songs every Saturday.
Do you?
Yeah, that Trump song, Donaldus Rises.
I thought that was AI. I know it's in their style.
That's them. They just
what?
They use different. They change the subtitles, and it tricks you to thinking that you're hearing the thing. That's what people. When you hear it the first time, you think it's saying that because you're reading it, and it's fucking with your head.
Oh, because I thought that was an AI one, but I knew it sounded like them. That's them.
You know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Because Trump listened to it. Yeah. See, don't know this rise.
That's a good one. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like all this Trump he makes.
Yeah, I love Sabaton. They're great. So I might check that out. Mario Trelio. $5 says, never ask for reason when it comes to women because reason requires logic. And logic, my friend, is an alien concept. That's going to get clipped. I have to
do a funny voice.
Do a funny voice so people know.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
What do you think, Lumi? Is there any truth to this statement?
Oh yeah, no, it's completely true. It's just like how women are like nothing is more dangerous to women than other women. That's why a lot of them backstab each other, shit talk behind each other's backs, and then it's like, oh, I never thought I would have seen this coming. This person was my close friend. Oh goodness. It's like, no, you all know.
Yeah, women love fucking each other over. It's true.
Yeah, you just have to watch a season of Real Housewives, and
no. They've done studies on this where women, when they want to do something nasty, they will naturally resort to like character assassination and gossip and stuff. And
that sounds familiar.
That can do that. And guys, I just love how guys usually will sort it out. They'll get into a bit of a fight, and oftentimes they'll be just mutual respect will grow from that. And like literally, there were these idiots in high school that were giving me a hard time, had a fed up, got in a fight, and we became didn't become friends, but we just like they'd stopped, and they would give me kind of a nod afterwards, like a week later or something like that. And
it was all right, Shad. You're all right, Shad.
You're willing to stand up for yourself. You have, the other person has respect for you. Then,
yep. Yeah,
that's why the common thing is they stand up to the bully.
Yeah, I remember like one of these idiots that was trying to give me a hard time in high school. Right, I got fed up with it. So during our PE, one of the classes in school, we were playing a sport and he fumbled and he did something dumb. And so I called him a retard. And knowing how he would react, because he was supposed to be the tough guy in school. So he couldn't stand for that. He's like, what'd you call me? So I called him a retard again. And so he had to do the confronting thing. And I was fed up with him. And so I just pushed back. We got in a bit of a snap on. We threw a couple of punches. That was the end of it. The teacher broke it up. Never bothered me again. And in fact, a week later, he was like, hey, you remember that snap on we got in there? I remember that. That was it. That was fun. And that's
I mean, it's similar to I know it's going a little extreme, but it's kind of like with murder and stuff. Guys are kind of more upfront with it and everything. But then with women, they mostly use poisons or hands-off types of things.
It's absolutely true. Once you murder a guy, you really never have to deal with him again.
Well,
not
so I've heard.
He haunts your soul.
I'm talking more about murder methods than the act itself.
It's it's going to be hard for anybody to do something like that in the future because it's already getting harder. Like I watch a lot of these. Some of my favorite content to watch are these, people in interrogation rooms from cops, and they get these people by tracking their cell phones while they ping off of towers, driving towards someone's home and shit. Like they can pretty much just track you now wherever you go. Anybody.
The forensic technology has got there is forensic technology that I'm sure the public have no idea about, that they don't want the public to know in mainstream things, because that prevents people trying to take on actions to prevent the ways that they can, because it goes beyond DNA evidence and fingerprints. I reckon there's some crazy stuff. Because I remember there was this crime in Australia where some guy put a fake bomb collar, and it was fake, but he kidnapped this person, put a fake bomb collar on him, and was trying to get a bounty or use her as a hostage, right, to get money. The way I have no idea how they tracked the guy down, but they found out who he was, got him locked up in a day, and they never revealed how they managed to do it, but they did it quick.
You got a lot of CCTV over there?
Only in the cities. In the countries, far less, but probably growing though. The phones, being able to track phones is a
yeah. I was just watching this thing with my wife a day or two ago about this guy back in the 70s. And he was just murdering all these teenage girls, all over Texas. It was this, they called it the murdered corridor or whatever. And it's dude, they didn't have nothing to find this guy, because it's back then there was no CCTV, there's no freaking traffic cameras, there's nothing. And nowadays, everything's on film all the time. It's crazy.
Well, AI is messing that up massively, because it's getting to a point where people can't tell what's real and what's not. It's getting very, very hard. And one side to it that I think is kind of a positive is that it's forcing people to be more skeptical of what they see, because if you think false videos weren't being used for years already and people are only now waking up because of AI, no, that's been around for years. The amount of bullcrap videos that have come out of certain war zones in the past several years that was just being completely staged is shocking, to the point that you don't know what's actually showing the real tragedy of events, or if it was from a past war that they're reappropriating and saying this is what's happening now. And so
community notes are for.
I mean, the community notes sometimes get hijacked by the wrong side too.
Yeah, they do a good job for the most part, but it's not perfect either. That's a concern.
Yeah.
Wolfsbane for $5 says, if you thought that LUMI Savvy stream was bad, how do you think I felt when I was the only guy in yearbook class in HC? What's that?
High school.
High school. Okay. It was a year of lustful gossip.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I would not know, but I'm concerned already. Mario Trujillo, $5 says, another point about Horizon Forbidden West that's overlooked, there was a lesbian kiss, and the chick the main character kisses is still hot. Really? I did not know, because I haven't played it. I know that they made Alo look like Nikocado Avocado.
Yeah, I'm about to say, every time I look at her,
yeah,
she looks exactly like Nikocado Avocado. Exactly.
Yeah, those memes.
The fat one
funny.
or the thin one?
Well, now it's changed. It's lost heaps of weight, and so
that's what
not
I'm saying.
anymore.
Fat Nick or thick? Or
That was the fat one.
Nick.
That was a great troll though, where he just did all those videos fat and then slowly release them, and then suddenly he was skinny.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, that's dedication.
By the way, I looked up Baldur's Gate 3 on DEG mods, and one of the main ones they're showing me is that I can turn Will white and blonde. I can make
Anything's allowed.
I can make Dame Aelin, the ASMR character. I change it from female to male, so that way there will be no lesbian relationships in the game. Officially.
Hackon for $20 says, Shad, sending lots of love. Well, thank you very much. Tried doing carnivore for a minimum of 2 months for actual results. Well, I got results, and my chronic fatigue just became crippling, so it wasn't working out. Also, we all know this is just insecure women doing this crap. They throw all the baggage on men instead of taking accountability.
There's also a thing called carnivore flu, where like if you start carnivore and you don't, and your body's just completely not used to it, you get flu symptoms and you get sick and stuff. So I don't know if that's something you experienced or not.
It could be that.
It was energy.
It could be that because when you do keto, you kind of go through the same thing. It's just called ketosis, where you just feel like you're dying for a little bit, but then it's like you got a burst of energy and you just feel alive.
So Mario Trilio, he has a follow-up super chat after the Horizon Forbidden West one, where he says for $5 says, for clarity, the actress is for the other chick is 1-to-1 rendering. It's so transparent it's not even funny. Okay, so the girl that she's kissing is like the I guess translation, the depiction of the actress is saying is clear 1-to-1, but not for Alo or many of the other characters, it seems like, which I could believe. Yeah, it seems they have a very unbiased way of doing it. Sorry, a very biased way of doing it. Xavier Savior Hart for $20 says, I bought myself Horseman #0, #1, and Yara #1. Can't wait to read them on the subject of fat people. I honor those who are fat at the gym. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
All power, good on them. Just the ones who claim to be healthy tell me I'm horrible for being fit. Yeah,
it's kind of how it goes. Yeah,
I'll do that if I see somebody, and I've done it a few times, but like David Dana, I think that's his name. Like just a guy showing his progress of just busting his ass to get thin or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen women post these things. I like copy paste, or I'll share that and I'll say not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, and
that should be like super promoted.
And I respect people a lot more when they take accountability, right? Like,
the guys deadlift. The guys that tried deadlifting.
Not since high school.
I suggest it. It's a really good workout.
Reminds me of what's his name? There's a guy who's a world champion deadlifter, but he's not jacked. He's got a regular frame, and he dresses up in like these baggy clothes, and he looks like a completely average guy, and he's got a beard, and he goes to the gym.
Would you guys? Would you like to see the most romantic hotel room in the world?
I'm kind of scared to see what you have to bring, but
show you. This is a place where you take a proper woman.
Let's see.
Okay, that is fucking cool. That is cool.
If she's happy there, then she's wife material.
That is true. That is cool. I love it.
I would love to stay in this room.
Man, I was hoping it would be like Dungeons and Dragons medieval stuff because I.
Oh no.
Swords. That's what I want. All right, so we got Wolfsbane for $5 again. That says, "What are you talking about? John Constantine did the Spear of Destiny to prevent Lucifer's son from taking over. It was in that documentary. So that's where the Spear of Destiny is. We now know. Thank you for this.
It's being kept with top men.
This is true.
Top men.
Gaza Dragon for $5 says, do the men have weapons? Unfortunately, we lost the context of what
100 men versus
the gorilla.
Oh, well, yeah. If we have weapons, it's an easy win.
That's cheating, yeah. Because if we have weapons, like this one guy can kill him.
Exactly. Me, like a sword through the neck. I don't think the gorilla's going to be that happy about that, you know? So I'm not saying you wouldn't be injured or potentially die, but you could kill a gorilla with a well-aimed precision strike from a sword in one hit. Like,
or a desert
a
eagle.
bleeding out gorilla is better than a not bleeding out gorilla.
Well, no, just if you got in between the ribs, right in the heart, it's dead. instant. It's down, right?
Or a desert eagle.
Oh, yeah,
Desert Eagle
but
is
that's-
bloated in half.
A bazooka. Like, yeah, well, let's just get an Apache helicopter. I don't think the gorilla would stand a chance then. But so yeah, the context is what type of weapons then it comes into. But it really, even basic weapons, the gorilla is in trouble. This is true. We'll
Like
spend
nunchucks.
$5. You're screwed. Wolfspace for $5 says, "What's the setting? Can they make impromptu weapons? Is there fear involved, or is it just fists? Is it a swarm? These are questions we need to know." You're right. And we've discussed some of them. The main context was without weapons, and that's where it gets tricky. Because and also the type of men. Absolutely. I mean, if they're just 100 Trump supporters, gorilla's screwed. Okay. But if
Trump supporters.
Yeah, I'm trying to be complimentary, Mike.
They're Jack.
No.
They're all Chads, Mike. What are you talking
I have my brain on backwards. Leave me alone.
Okay, but come on. I want to see 100 male feminists going up against the gorilla.
See, that would be a bloodbath. They would all be screaming that if they had women on their side, they would have done better.
They'd all be trying to protect the gorilla.
Yes, and after they die,
they
choose the gorilla.
And after they die, or the one guy living who survived and still lost would be saying it was really their fault all along, and the gorilla's just.
We were too threatening to the gorilla. They seemed too much pale. It must have triggered its PTSD.
Yep. Alexander Cross for $5 says the key to defeating a gorilla with 100 men is to get men stuffed to the gills with some performance-enhancing substances and lock the door. There's multiple strategies. I get the impression that you could do a number of things. Knight of the Deathwing for $6.99 says maybe the 100 men versus gorilla is a continuation of the 1 million lions versus the sun. That triggers a memory. What's that about again? I forget.
I think it was just launching 1 million lions at the sun to see if they'd win.
Oh, there was a commentary about it, but I forget. I've lost it. Anyway. I'm just going to say yes. I don't remember, but yes. And then McSkittles becomes a new member. Welcome aboard, McSkittles. We appreciate you. And that is all the super chats are done and wrapped up, and we have reached an end of another Culture Crusade, and this has been wild fun. Thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate you, LUMI, Flash.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was fun, and it's nice to see you again, Flash.
Hey, thank you, Laughing Man. I see you in the chat.
And
welcome aboard.
Before you leave this stream, you must go get Flash's book.
Check out
by today.
That's right. And Flash, is there anything you want to plug about it as we are signing off?
Yeah, check it out. It's a great book. It's a lot of fun, a lot of action. It's a one-shot. Well, there's 3 books that we want to make, but this can be enjoyed by itself. So you can pick this up. There's a beginning and an end. It's nonstop action. It's a lot of fun.
Put the commercial on?
Oh, we could show it.
Yeah, we'll sign off with it. How about that?
Right.
LUMI, anything you want to say as we're signing off?
Well, you can find me on YouTube under the name Luminous Cove. You can find me on Twitter or X under the same name. I also stream on Kick, and tonight I'm going to be going live in about an hour and a half and talking about a now re-exposed pedophile that's trying to be a VTuber. So that's going to be fun. Ugh.
Yeah, it sounds great. Man, the drama.
What's your channel name? Is it just LUMI?
Luminous Cove.
Oh, Cove. I thought you said Cope.
Is EDP trying to be a VTuber now? That'd be crazy.
How do I find it? Hold on.
Oh, and here I can link my channel. Give me a second.
Awkward silence.
I'll put it in private chat.
All right, and I'll post it
there
up.
You go.
There we go.
Awesome. Check out LUMI and also check out
subscribed.
LUMI on the Archcast as well. It is hilarious fun.
Yeah, you can find me on the Archcast every Saturday.
Awesome. Lit Dev, anything you want to say?
Oh yeah, just morning nonsense every day, every weekday at 8:35 a.m. typically Eastern. And also, let me see if I can. I didn't have this ready, but I do. It's in my Twitter feed. But I do also have a book coming out soon. Not yet. It's almost ready, but soon. Working on it for 7 months. Past 7 months, I haven't posted any videos for that long. And also, it's been rewritten. The cover is finally done. Here it is. 1 second. Total silence for this incredible trick, and voila! There it is.
Check it out. Lady Midnight.
Devils Dwell in Silent Springs, an occult detective story. And of course, it's kind of like it started off as kind of like a Constantine sort of thing, where it's just like, oh, here's some magic, solve problem. But I turned it into an occult detective story in terms of like Agatha Christie or Arthur Conan Doyle. So it's going to be a long line of like logic and clues. Basically, this first story is in a supernatural murder mystery. See how it goes. So, worked hard on this one, rewritten, totally rewritten, and then rewritten again. So it's we've done a lot of work on this one. It should be pretty good. My artist is working on the first pages now, but this is the cover.
Looks awesome, dude.
Oh, thank you very much.
Awesome. And Mike, anything you want to share as we're signing off?
Yeah, I've been doing Whatnot for the last week, which is a really cool site that people have been trying to tell me to get on for a few years.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's like I have it up on this. Well, I have my Buy It Now shop up there, but it's like being at a Comic-Con online. And Whatnot is like a cross between YouTube and freaking eBay. So you go on there, you could post, commissions, you could do live streams and talk with the chat, and then people are there. You can start auctions, you can start like just offer stuff, and it's really cool. Let me put the link in the chat. There's not a ton of artists on there right now, but there's like people selling comic books. Flash, you would love this site if you haven't been there. You can get tons of comics on there, like all the time.
On Whatnot?
It's called Whatnot, yeah, and just go to the
I know, but it's all modern, like variant covers from the mainstream.
I mean, I've seen channels that do older stuff, so I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're doing, or who's doing what, or you have to catch the ones that are doing it. I don't know. There's a vintage comics tab, but I'm there doing like live drawing and just trying to build it up. I've only been there for a week. I've got 118 followers. Rob Liefeld has 14,000 followers on there.
And and those followers, they're there to buy.
They're there to buy. Yeah,
that's what it's for.
Yeah, it's a really
cool. I've never heard of
it. Site. Yeah,
comic shops are starting to use it a lot too, which I think is great.
Yeah, because they're like just blowing through stuff, and people want it. It's like they could sell like 5 things in a minute because they just put it up. Somebody buys it, they put up the next thing.
Mine uses it, and that's what he's told me. He's like, it's all like, if he puts like a Silver Age comic up there, nobody wants it. Like all they want is the new stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
I want new stuff, but I want independent new stuff.
Like
the Golden
Patriot.
Like what we have right here. Check this out. Full screen.
The year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, 2 American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.
Wicked. And we're all disappeared. We're out. We're back now.
Buy today.
Get some. That looks great.
Get Mike's cover.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, that's cover B. If you didn't know, it's cover B.
Get my damn cover.
B for Mike.
B for
B for
All right.
All right. Links in the chat again.
All links there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and our special guest, Flash and LUMI. Love you guys. Thanks for coming on. Hope to see you again. You're always welcome. And thanks, everyone, for joining us in the chat. You guys are awesome. We will see you next time on the Culture Crusade. So, as always, stay on watch.
Hold on. I'll actually be on Whatnot live in a half an hour, in case anybody else does.
Mike will be live on Whatnot in half an hour, and LUMI is also streaming in like an hour and a half, something. Check him out. There we go. And as always, you gonna interrupt, Mike?
Stay on watch.
Stay on watch. See you later.